go. Good timing.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. There we go.
I invited Mike. I invited Mike, but I don't know if he got the.
That would be awesome if he would come. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, drag your hair. We'll see.
Yep.
Make sure everything's working. Okay. Thanks, Doc.
Back in 2001, when we first began working with Gary Gygax,
Thank you.
he pitched this wonderful series of books to us.
Hope everyone's
he called
well
them the Gygax
tonight.
Fantasy Worlds, and what he envisioned was this encyclopedic set of books for role players, writers, game designers, the whole lot of us, that we could use in making our games, creating our adventures, writing stuff for publishable content, or whatever it may be. And there was really no end.
So we got to decide what our topic for Wednesday is. Is it going to be Shalimar Valley or the Feywild? I'm good with either one.
7 volumes in total.
I think it will be interesting to have Faye, but
Okay.
but that will be a very speculative because Faye doesn't really have much official support in Greyhawk. It's and in D&D in general, which I think it's an interesting topic in itself, so to speak. So yeah,
Okay.
because the living Greyhawk in Jeff is the exception.
Depending on how well the Kickstarter does.
Recovering from episode 29. Uh-oh. Was there trouble in it?
Uh-oh.
The necessary stretch goals. But welcome to the
Awesome.
what we're calling the Gary Gygax World
Episode
Building
29.
Archives.
Yep.
And please give us your
It's a
support.
hurdle we all have to
Around
go
if you
past
can,
29.
pledge if you can, whatever you need to do, whatever
Lando, are
you
you
can do
DMing
us and the
for,
members of Gary Gygax, we very much
Greyhawk
appreciate it.
Reborn? For Virtual GrowCon? Just curious. Or
Trollord
Games, or
Games.
both, or
Join the fray.
either? I was just curious. Oh, Razkal already hit us up with a hype train. Wow. We're hype trained before we even started. That's awesome.
Hi,
Thank
welcome
you.
to Gamescape 3D. Today we're going to be going over our
All right.
release of our gigantic
Because neither of them have put their
clips.
games in yet, so.
We have a lot to go over, so let's get to it. All right, before we jump in and see how this thing is standing up, let's look at some of our smaller features.
Alright, let me see here. Get through all this.
Get some of these figures out of the way. All right, you're going to have a folder in there called Magnet Face Cliffs. Those refer to a few specialty items that we have here. You can see this tree right here actually just pops right off. And after you pop it off, you can go ahead. I have a door piece you can swap in there. I also just have a plain cliff face you can swap right. You can, whoops. You can pop in there. Okay. So let's say you're on an adventure and someone says a magic word, maybe that makes a door
Let's see
appear
if you can make it.
in the side of a cliff.
All right.
Enter
I'm pretty
inside
prepared
or
for
whatever.
tonight. I got a lot of, because I do so much
This
with
one
magic
right next
weapons,
to it is
so-
another
Yeah.
swappable one. We have a cave
think so.
I have
entrance.
some ideas
These
and
things
stuff, so we
blend in
can
real
Oh,
well
cool.
hopefully get something interesting
on
for.
the tabletop, as you can
Excellent.
see.
Let's see here. There we go.
So there we go. No cave. Cave. Just that simple. Okay. And then our last one is down here.
Okay.
Shelves right here. This whole thing comes off.
Weird, a hype train
Okay,
in the
there's your
base
magnet
here. I don't know
faces
what we're
on the
going to do.
back. You're also going to have open locks everywhere. You
That's
have
cool when
magnets.
you're only playing
Most
the
of the time
intro.
you're going to
So
want to use magnets. We're
I think
using
I've had 2 hype trains, or 3 on
Really?
on Twitch.
millimeter
Yeah, I've had
magnets
3.
on
I had
this.
I had
And
2
use something with a
while
little
I
more punch than the 2x6s
stream my
I
games during
usually
Virtual
use.
Greyhawk on.
So
Okay.
I can see
And then
the
I have
open
one
locks being
other for
useful
some
in
reason.
cases.
There was
Mostly, I
something
think
special. I forgot
you'll
what
want to
was
use
going
them
on.
on
There was someone raiding
side-to-side
in, and it
connections
was something
potentially,
special. So I had 3, I
because
think.
you
Yeah.
will get into situations where the magnet
But those were
polarity
probably
isn't
as
set up correctly
minimal
for
as
what
they
you
could
wanna
be.
do.
But they've been
And those
there.
open
Yep.
locks will override.
at least there were a chance of one or something, and
the
didn't
magnets
happen.
pushing
Yeah.
away from each other. In terms of
Yeah, I
this
don't think we
base
actually
here, you
got
can
it, but
use
it was
any
like hype
quarter-inch
training coming,
material.
or if you do this,
Using
then it
Right.
will be a
hardboard
hype
here,
train, and that never happened. So yeah.
you could use quarter-inch cardboard, quarter-inch foam core, some kind of plastic.
Yeah, hype is not
plexiglass,
really my
anything you
thing.
got
Yeah.
available. You could even use
Hey, Keith.
1/8-inch material and shim it up a little bit. Or
I just
double
get
it
worried
up,
if people
whatever.
are
So
hyping
there's
me.
the hardboard I'm using.
Oh, cool, man.
Okay, and these set right on top.
I had to change my plans on what I was going to do on my Thursday nights with.
So you can sort of see
Now
the
that I
front
found out Bill's going to be
mechanism.
out from 4 to 6 weeks because of
Okay,
his
so we got magnets
kids.
all along
He's
here.
assistant coaching
These
his
are
kids'
just the tops
team
of
in
the
hockey,
clips.
and they moved all their
The board
practices
sets
now
right
to
in
Thursday
here.
night.
You do not need to cut
So,
precisely. We got
yeah.
a lot
If he's
of
coaching them,
overlap
he should move
coverage
the
there,
game to another
as
night.
you
Yeah,
can
he
see.
can't though. He's not
In
running
most
the
Yeah, I know.
cases,
league.
most
Yeah.
spots you're looking at up to an inch of coverage. So, if you're within half
Team
an
Killer,
inch,
what's
it's gonna
going on?
Take care of it. And then
Hey,
we
thanks,
have
man.
magnets, and these things just pop right in there and hold things into place.
We're on Preludes here. I'm
this
gonna
one
come.
here is
I'm
an
gonna
earlier
come
one. You can see I went a little deeper. I decided
here.
to change that
People are rolling in.
for the one I'm
What
releasing.
do we got? 653. All right, why not?
Yep.
It's good, man. It's good playing with you the other day. Got our normal Sunday night talk show. Oh, there we go. We got over. All right, already hit the level 1.
Wow.
Very cool. Whew. Oh, you can see how they look like in person, Team Killer. There you go. TK. And Anna, too. I was playing, my son and I were playing BattleTech on Team Killer's stream yesterday morning, right? Because I didn't have a game, so we're like, oh, let's just play. And he said, oh, a couple of channels I watch. So, like, all right, cool. When do I get a Saturday off, Anna? You know?
Well, you have to work hard, and then you might get a Saturday off.
Yeah, well, that was it. That was the Saturday, yeah, because I got to stream this upcoming Saturday. Right in the middle of the day.
Yeah. And soon there will be virtual GREYHAWK on, and then
Yeah, I know. That'll be a busy weekend.
Yep.
All right. Tonight! All right, going to D&D. We're going GREYHAWK. We're going magic weapons. Editionless discussion, I guess, for the most part. Alrighty, let's go live. Oh, that's right, so let's go live. Why not? You got that through the hype train level 1, which is cool without even coming live like normal. Hey! Alright, Anna, good to see you on a Sunday evening.
Good to see you too. Yeah.
Yes, so I sit here, and then my son sits right there when we play BattleTech on our computers, so,
Yeah.
it was cool. It was a good relaxation, little something a little different. Just playing a little bit online, but I'm not a video game streamer, so the world of D&D is where we're at. So over 6 years doing this stuff, Anna, where'd the time go?
Yeah. We started like a year before COVID or something.
No, it was 2018. It was 2 years before COVID.
Yeah, 2 years before
Yeah.
COVID. Yep. Yep.
With that, Virtual GradCon 5.
Yep.
I pushed back these dates for signing up for events a week to put it to the last week of the month. In that last weekend. So, isn't
They
it?
have
It's
more
worth-
events. More events.
We need to get more events in. So, Greg Reborn said he'd have his in by the 27th. I need Chuck's in as well, Troller Games, and then I got some other streamers that still haven't. Armin just put one in. I got Josh Pop hasn't put his in yet. There's a lot of people haven't put them in. So Sparky, I throw rocks at Chuck every day, man. Sometimes I hit him right smack in the head, right here. So, but you can do that too, man. That would be great. That would be great. But they don't get on my case though. Oh, you know what? It would be good for me to set the giveaway up. How's that sound? Classic D&D reprint. I didn't even. Yeah, you know, and we're talking about time slots and all that other thing. I forgot to here. Let me hit the cloud bot up. Classic D&D reprint giveaway tonight. Should be preset in here. Yeah. Okay. What are you doing here? Why isn't it working? Man, I love Streamlabs. I'm on my laptop, so it won't show. There we go. Scroll up. Now it did. All right. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. Let's see recent events. So Team Killer just followed. We'll pop that up there. Thank you very much. I appreciate the follow. And yeah. October, remember, Thursday night. We have games on Thursday now. Thursday night, October 3rd through the 6th. I am going to stream, and it's a sign-up game for the Lost City of the Soul. I got all the terrain here from Jeremy. I got to get Will's version of the game. Darling's on after Thursday night, and then we'll just go through the normal schedule. You know, we'll have plenty of events live and sign up. So if you need to check it out, it's $5 plus the TTE fee, which is what, $1.13 or something. So it's, you know, just to cover costs. There is the sign up for it. Thanks for the hype train level 1. All right, so October 3rd, and then we got some great artwork. There are still plenty of the t-shirts available too. And someone bought a Slav Squad shirt today. I appreciate it. Thank you. But I don't have your address. I did send you a message directly to get your address so I could send it out. So, because I'm selling Slav Squad and 2 drink minimum polos as well on the site under merch. So there you go. And great artwork from Dan Smith. And we also have the Dan Smith black and white to give away. So, that was, of course, my guys don't know I'm live.
I think some of them do know. That's why they're texting you.
Yeah. So magical weapons tonight, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ask this question because I get this all the time now. I never got this back in the day. Are you a high magic or low magic campaign?
That's a great question, and I'm a high power, low frequency campaign.
Of course, you answered it in riddles.
Yeah, because there's 2 dimensions to it.
Right.
Meaning you can have a campaign where there's very little magic, but it can still be powerful. Or you can mean a low magic, meaning that magic is everywhere, but it's only a little varnish on top of the fantasy, so to speak. That there's like a little glimmer here and there, and the sparkle, and not more than that, so to speak. So I want to diversify it into 2. So I think I'm a high power, lower frequency, or a little bit lower, but than general. It's not magic everywhere, but it's very powerful. So I want magic that can be realm shattering, because we have it in the devastations and all that. We know that GREYHAWK has magic that can simply destroy the world, so to speak. So magic should be very powerful, but I don't want everywhere. I don't want bakeries to have teleporters sending their bread to their customers and stuff like that.
We had an air transportation system in Living GREYHAWK above Vermont.
Exactly. So in that sense, I'm a medium magic when it comes to frequency.
I was shocked when I heard that.
Yeah. So I'm definitely, I don't want magic everywhere. Magic should still feel like it's a tool for the powerful.
Right.
The tool is one of the tools, but it's kind of used sparingly, or not. It comes with a cost kind of thing, so to speak, when it comes to
Very
magic.
Cool. Yeah. For me, it's high, and
yeah, on both accounts, they should be both frequent and powerful, or
yeah. Well, let's look at that.
Yeah.
My guys don't like interact with the gods that much. Now, they're it's not that kind of campaign. But like, there's powerful characters, there's powerful monsters.
Oh yeah, but you kind of kept it to 9th level. You don't have magic that is stronger than 9th level. Have you ever?
You mean
played
like
with
spell wise?
Yeah, or anything, meaning can they do things that are more powerful than wish spells? Can they?
No,
Yeah,
no,
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 exactly. You
no.
don't have magic that
No,
can
and
even
none of them
contemplate
are
it.
sending to godhood. No, it's not that
Yeah.
kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
and there's like not direct interactivity even with avatars of gods. It's not my
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not where I go
Yep.
with things. It's just all right. What's this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Walt
Yep.
just sent me something. Yeah, so it's not that kind of game. My game, but I love giving out unique. I think this is one of the catches I have. The unique
Mm-hmm.
item is a huge thing that players get and like, wow, this is mine. It's got a name, and I think that's
Yep.
a catch.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the special group players, they say, my gosh, I love what you've been doing with all the name weapons, especially with the Hateful Wars ones, because they're like
Yeah.
legendary characters supposedly
Mm-hmm.
running around, and all of
Yep.
them die. All those died in the Hateful Wars. Now they're finding stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to talk about magic weapons in particular tonight, and where you go, like balance, imbalance, frequency, uh, ideas, and I'm going to share for you like what really caught just two things that caught me into where we start here. And I'll go to the first one because I forgot to bring the second one up. So give me 1 second here. Of course, I got let me go back here. Let me go back to the Gabbin on. Let me go back to Last Legends and Lore. I think I had it in
Yeah.
there. So we did a really cool one with Malden dropping in on Greyhawk City, and
Yes.
and that was great. I haven't seen Dennis just hop in for a little bit. That was really a lot of fun.
Yep.
But I got to bring up. Okay, there I brought it up. The City Greyhawk box set. All right, so I'm going to give you two places that caught my eye to not just give out. Oh, it's a +2 sword. Now, sometimes that'll happen, right? Oh, Gary Con live. Hey, Garner.
Hello.
Great to
Welcome.
see you.
Yep.
Great to see you tonight. Garner, thank you so very much. Tempest, I hope you're doing well. That was a wrong shout out. I hit a wrong button. I shouted myself out. I really apologize for that. Oh my God, I'm stupid. Here's Garner's and Gary Con. I hope you had a great stream. I love you doing Alec Barr and you had Alan Hammock on. I caught a little bit of it early, but that's fantastic. So really appreciate it. Hey, giveaways tonight, Classic D&D reprints. Take your pick tonight. Right, take your pick of a whole bunch of reprints courtesy of Curtis, and join us on the discussion on magic weapons. You know, great magical weapons. Some legendary,
Mm-hmm.
some not so, and we'll go from there. But very good to see you. Hope you had a wonderful show and game. I'm really looking forward to GaryCon next year, but let's get through Virtual Con and all the other stuff
Yep.
beforehand.
I'm game hold. And, yep. Mm-hmm.
There's so much. So
Yep.
let's start at the beginning of one of the best. Now, Dungeon Master's Guide had artifacts, but I saw them as they were way too powerful. All the things you could get, you could customize them, and then I'm not gonna put any quirk. The quirks I'm gonna put the least ones in. But this is where I think this is where it really caught my eye, and this is well into our playing is Greyhawk Adventures. And I'm not gonna say who it was, but there was someone on Twitter who posted about this book, and this is like yesterday or the day before, and they said this is my least favorite of all the Greyhawk books. And I'm like, why? I think it's it's one of my favorites. Jim Ward, did this in 90 days, as we know,
Mm-hmm.
and just there's so much named stuff in here. So many great named things. And if you go to just the magic weapons section here, unbelievable book. And it's basically the last book of the 1E era. It was the 1E 2E crossover book, you could call it. Spells and all the names, Circle of 8 spells. Yeah, it was just I love it. So, but that's okay. Everyone has their opinions. And so we come down here to still in spells. I love that picture too. Magical items, Greyhawk here, rings, rods, staves, and wands. They can be considered weapons. Well, let's go to some actual weapons here. And some of these you may know. I mean, some of these appear in publications, but like I was armor and shields. There we go. Swords. All right, mostly swords. But like Equalizer Grand March, Flying Scimitar Tusmet +3, and then you get all these really cool abilities with them, right? Let me blow this up a little bit. There we go. So, and I'm thinking to myself, well, there's got to be other ones out there besides this. And some of these are super powerful. Maybe I don't want to make them this powerful. The Raw Astron's Sword of Enmity, that appears in Expeditions Ruins of Greyhawk, by the way. That one appears right in that adventure. Stormfish Sword of Rage, and they're really cool ones. Now, and then we know the Blades of Korisk, Lucky Sword of the Wild Coast, one of my favorites, the Warlord Blade of the Shieldlands. And that's actually in my campaign. That one has been given out. A Cavalier has that. So some really cool weapons. And then they got miscellaneous weapons in here. Axe of Soulward, Cord of Ekbir, a Strangulation Cord. What could be better than put a Strangulation Cord in it? Iron Gauntlets of Ernst, great for monks and other punching types. Razor Claws of Shek. Did I say that right? Tiger
or some, yeah,
tigers.
I think so.
Tiger Nomads.
Well, it's one of these names that don't exist in the real world. So
yeah. True. Trident of the Old Lajat and the Whip of Zeef. So just some really cool places, and like besides the artifacts and some adventures, right? There were some adventures that had some magic items. We all know. Well, if you're new, you may not, but we all know of some of these. And if we go here and we like, I mean, we all know of these from White Plume Mountain, right? Wave, Whelm, Black Razor, right? We all know them. I mean, they're legendary. Everyone wanted the Cup and the Talisman. Yeah, the Cup and the Talisman of Alec Bar, but they're not weapons. Yeah, Garner. I agree. They're artifacts, though. They're artifacts. Yeah, they are true artifacts. Alan Hammock wrote that, and I think I thought it was always tastefully done. I know he got, everyone gets backlash 30, 40 years later now. But yeah, Wave, Black Razor. Another one that you wouldn't even think about, and I think this one is in the original Dungeon Master's Guide, is the original Mace of St. Cuthbert, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's in there. So there's a ton of these. And they make their appearance, and it's a balance thing. So Anna, what's the most? I gotta ask this: the most powerful current weapon in your game, in your Shieldlands game? It could be one of the bad guys.
That's the Sword of Thrommel that Katarina has. It's a legendary holy Avenger. That is a +6, so it is an artifact, so it has more than +5. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't think really +6.
Oh yeah, it's an artifact. So it's an artifact. So they go beyond the normal rules. I haven't studied it out in Hawk Tales fully yet, so I'm working on it. But I had it in Pathfinder 1. I had it as a +6 weapon, because then artifacts and stuff could go beyond +5. So I have to kind of think about how I translate it into Hawk Tales, and that's why this show is very timely, because I'm working on magic items rules as one of the things, so to speak, because they will work a little bit different. So I think that's the most, when it comes to weapons, that's the most powerful. Weapon I have.
But +6 weapons show up in Unearthed Arcana, by the way. In first edition.
Oh yeah, they've been in several. Yep.
I've never given one out.
Now, no, me neither. I haven't given it out.
+6.
Exactly. I haven't given up. So the characters, I think, have a +2 is the most powerful they have equivalent of. So no super fancy stuff.
Any abilities on it, or just straight +2, which is okay.
Oh yeah, I think they have. One guy, he's playing a paladin, so he has a holy one.
Okay.
That is a +2, but it's one of these weapons that it grows with him, so to speak.
Scalable.
Yes, exactly. It grows with him. So the more powerful he becomes, the more powerful the weapon
Point
becomes.
number 2. You nailed it. Point number 2. And I've said this multiple times on streams. Let me find and go to the second book of the Free City of Greyhawk. And then I'll switch once we get there, so don't hurt everyone. drive everyone crazy while I'm scrolling through for it. Yeah, point 2 is there. When does scalable items appear in GREYHAWK? Right? They do appear in GREYHAWK in between first and second edition. A lot of people go,
Yeah.
that's bullshit. I don't know where you're talking about. Well,
Yeah.
I'll show you right now.
Yeah.
So if I can get to it it's under the section in the Free City Growth box set, Beautiful People, or the other groups here, and now I'm having trouble finding. I should have known. This is the one I didn't open up right away.
Yeah.
So it's after guilds.
So that weapon is a little bit special. It's only a +2, but it has a secret function into it. It has a soul stone in it, meaning there is the previous owner's soul is there to guard the next one. It's one of these that goes one knight in Shieldlands gives the weapon to the next one, so to speak. So you inherit it, and what happens is that when
it's a good one.
Yeah, so it's like a Valkyria. So if you die in in the service of the order, so to speak, then the previous owner of the sword that is really powerful comes like as a planetar or solar or something, and to slay the person who killed you, and then you take over afterwards, so to speak. So you get like if you serve well, you get a chance to vanquish and slay whoever killed you.
Oh, okay.
So it's a revenge mode, and it's also a deterrent. It's a deterrent that anyone who goes after Knights of the Holy Shielding from Iusians and others should know that there is a chance that even if you win the battle, you will be vanquished to wherever critters like you get vanquished afterwards, so to speak. So it's a deterrent. They should know that it could be costly. Even if you're the most powerful ever, there is a chance that knight has a weapon like that, and even if it's not super powerful or something, he can become, so to speak. So it's a kind of a little fail safe, so to speak, built into it.
So there is a published source weapon in that has a spirit of someone in it. There's actually 2 of them that I know of. One is in Slavers. It has a paladin in it. For some reason, it's called Mouth of the Graveyard. And that is Bill's character, Sarah Leone, the dual-class paladin priest of Mayheen, has it. And then there's one that we get to, it's in Treasures of GREYHAWK. But it doesn't start that way. The adventure, actually, it happens. And so, we actually... Yep, there it is, Alexander. Yep, absolutely. So, and this torch is the first scalable... And look at this. So, and is it a torch? Well, it's up, it's a weapon. It does a whole sorts of abilities, right? And then as Anastia, as she levels, it gets more powerful, right? So
I want the weapon I have.
Hey, Patrick.
It's this precision you have in the order. When you go up in the order, the weapons. So if you serve the order well, the weapon goes up. You don't necessarily have to climb in levels, so to speak. It's a receipt on dedication primarily, but they usually go hand in hand. They will not promote you if you're not capable enough to handle it, so to speak. But it's technically not level. If you desert to the enemy or simply just ignore your duties and walk around, and then it will not be better. So it's Hieronymus giving you power to the ones that are loyal to him, so to speak.
Yeah, but you just want to make sure you don't end up inside it, right? I mean, my gosh.
Oh yeah, but that's one of the biggest honors, is that you get a chance to serve even beyond death.
Well, yes.
Death is not the end of service. You're bound beyond death. I tell that to my players. My campaigns don't end when your characters die. That's the beginning. Yeah.
Whether you want to or not, you're bound. So so there are a few, and I'll go over the one in the Treasures of GREYHAWK because it is a giveaway.
Exactly.
Do too.
Voluntary, some not. That's a great point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, all right. So those were the things that caught my eye young, and this is like a decade to 15 years into my campaign.
Yeah.
I'm not making a lot of. I'm making some. That's not true. I'm making some, but I'm not making a lot of. Most of the weapons, magic weapons I am making at this time are my artifact types, right? They're not like, oh, it's not going to do, it's a plus one weapon with a couple spells on it. No, they got to be artifact types, right? Which is crazy when you
Yeah.
think about it. It's just, it's too much. I really went. I made two of them called two weapons called the Brothers. Here they are. So yeah, here are the Brothers. Right, the Anvil of Mercy. +4 Adamantite Warhammer, that's neutral good, +5 versus evil, and then the Anvil of Obedience, Adamantite Warhammer, neutral evil, +5 versus good, and then they have special abilities and special powers against each other. So, but this was like, as you can see, the notebook, right? These are stuff that I don't want to have like my 7th level character walking around with. They're a little bit too high, right? They're a little bit too powerful. So
this ties into the fact that there are several aspects to magical weapons, meaning one is the story component, and one is, of course, the mechanical component, meaning how much mechanical advantage do you get, how many pluses or spells effect or whatever you get from it. And the other one that ties into the story is the symbolic value of the weapon in setting, meaning is there something you can show up and say, I run the country, or I'm a representative of a church, or I'm in liege with whatever demon lord or whatever it is, meaning the magic item or magic weapon as a symbol, meaning it doesn't need to be maybe even magical, meaning the item has a potency in itself, so to speak. And those three aspects, as a DM, you should play with all three, so to speak. You should, some of them, you need to think about the mechanics side, but you also should think about the story side, and then you should think, what kind of symbolic powers do you have? If you show up at the battlefield and hold this, will everybody follow you? Meaning you don't need any pluses for that, so to speak. That's just what the weapon has as a symbol of things. And so those are three sides that are interconnected, but as a DM, you can play with how each of these aspects of a magic weapon works, so to speak, and what they do in your games.
Yeah, I do not remember where. I'm looking for something obscure.
Yeah.
So I bet you Sam knows. All right. So just as a start point, yeah, they're good, but like I said, I don't mess around with artifacts. Are super powerful. Also, I like doing a centralized storyline around the groups. Not, I don't want to repeat Lord of the Rings, right? Because what do you go from there when you're successful or you fail?
Well, yeah, the end of the world campaigns, I try to not run them either anymore.
You can't. Yeah. So you want the story to go on. That's why it's been going for so long.
I was going to say artifacts are I think that the key aspect of artifacts is that they come with enemies built in.
Oh yeah.
Meaning if you get an artifact, that means that you are on someone's #1 on their hit list. So in that sense, I'm not that worried about giving the characters a lot of power when they have the artifact. But they also, because they will come, meaning if you touch this artifact, then if you're the wielder of the sword of Thrummel, that means that Ius is coming for you one way or the other. So you be damn powerful, because not only that, half of Furiundi will come and steal it from you too. You need to be worthy enough of having it, and if the king instills it in you, that and so on, it's something that comes with the territory. So you need to be. And whatever artifacts, it should come with so many drawbacks. So I think the way an artifact in play should be, the player should question, should I even touch this? Should I grasp this or use it or not, so to speak? Then it's done right, so to speak. It should be tempting in all its power, but it should also be like, oh, I'm not sure I want that job, so to speak, or is my character up for it? Then I think it's done right. It should be a cool balance between what you can get and the risk you take by using it. And the risk can be different things. It can be an evil artifact, obvious risks, so to speak, but a good one too should come with with risks.
Well, and that's another thing is how far do you want to go? That's weird. It's like this is
Yeah.
things split up in a strange way. So it's not your weapon's not Fragarack. It's another weapon. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not this weapon, the Thrommel weapon, because this is Thrommel's sword. It's Fragarack. It's not this one.
I don't. I took the idea from here,
Okay.
and then I made
Okay.
my own version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have several of them too. So yeah, this was a weapon.
Thank you.
The one I made was something that Belvoir had made for Thrommel. He never used it because it was not manufactured. It wasn't done. He died or got disappeared before he had a chance to wield it. That's why Belvoir gave it to Katarina during the war, because when she became a Marshal of Furuundi, she got it as a gratitude from the king and a symbol of the king's trust in her, so to speak. So that's why he was given she was given
Okay.
the Thrommel's sword. Yeah, that's this. I have the story behind the sword,
Yeah.
so to speak. So, yeah.
So Fragarack is one of the swords of answering,
Mhm.
and it was it's
Yep.
part of freeing Thrommel and finding this in Temple of Elemental Evil.
Yep.
And then you are gifted one of the other swords of answering, which are all alignment based. So yeah, they're cool, but once again, they automatically hit anyone who attacks you that round. I'm like, I want to go there with player characters. No.
But that's one of my problems I have with old school. The older editions of the game had a lot of these absolutes in them, meaning you could never miss or it was indestructible or whatever. I don't like that because that is like dead ends mechanically, and I don't like that one bit, so to speak. It should be odds. This one has a higher DC or a bit better hardness or do a little bit more pluses on damage and stuff like that. So there should be no absolutes, meaning that everything should be, you should be able to destroy it. It's just a matter of how much hit points or whatever force you need, so to speak. So quantify things, don't have absolutes, because that they would just trigger any engineer that plays the game to start have a squabbly kind of argument against it. So yeah.
But there are a lot, like they have all the different weird ways of destroying artifacts in the Dungeon Master's Guide. But somewhere in this DMG, I forget where it is.
Yeah.
It's not under swords. They tell and this is where for the crafting purposes. Now I rarely allow stuff to be crafted in game, but it has the limitations that in old school in the first edition rules. It had to be meteorite steel from the sky landing, right? Which is better than, I guess, crucible steel. Hey, what's up, Curtis? That could be enchanted up to +3. Mithril could be enchanted up to +4. And adamantite could be enchanted up to +5. But I thought it was right here in Swords and Dungeon Master's Guide, but it's somewhere in this book. I don't remember where it is. So someone will tell me. Someone will tell me where it is in the original Dungeon Master's Guide. I'm pretty sure. So it's under armor. All right, so I'm right here. Look at that. Look at that. There it is. Thank you. I knew Sam would know. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. So yeah, right there. Yep. So cool. Thanks. It's there. So it did exist. Very, very cool. But, you don't have to follow that. But it was a good start point. 3, they just gave all the metals their own properties. You could enchant normal steel up to +5. Okay. Well, you could just, once again.
That was something I liked in 3rd edition. 3rd edition had the first serious attempt at crafting rules in D&D. That was built into from the ground up, so to speak. And one of the things I liked was that you put in XP. Hard-earned XP into if you want to craft a powerful magic items, you have to invest some of yourself into it.
Yeah, but you just re-adventure.
I like that. Sorry?
You just go back out and adventure again and get more XP.
Oh yeah, but it means that you need to do more adventuring to do it, and it's a way. It takes time. That means that high level NPCs and stuff will not just spend a month in the garage, the fantasy garage, and make one, so to speak. Yeah, you have to kind
Yeah.
of, you can tell they were like, oh, I have to invest 5 years of my life that I would never get back. And I can also see that you have to invest XP and lifetime into it. You have to spend, you will live 10 years shorter if you do this and stuff like that. So that's something.
You lose age when you
Yeah, I want to play with
craft.
stuff like that, depending on what the powers you put in, so to speak. You need to you shorten your life. So if you do like a resurrection, you lose something and stuff like that. So if you make
Jake.
an item that can heal forever, then you have to give up some of your own life in order to do so. I think it's only fair. Otherwise, the world will be full of these things.
Well, it sounds like Dale's got the issue right now, and hence why no
Yeah. Hmm.
crafting by
Yeah.
PCs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I haven't started doing this here. I'm just putting in for Hawktails. I'm putting in my basic idea for crafting, so to speak. So depending on what
right.
type of magic you there is certain conditions. So life is one of them that you might have
I'd rather
to do.
I'd
Yeah.
rather so much search and find hordes and stuff. I mean, there's crafting of potions and all that, but weapons, man, it's a can of worms.
No,
Oh,
I think it's cool if you, but first you have to stipulate what you can do but I
right.
think it's for high level play. I think it's one of these cool things that characters should be able to do. Meaning, if you have a 12th level wizard, they should be able to make their own staff and put their stuff in there and stuff. So, but then you, of course, you have to have some sort of rules what they can put in there and how
Yeah,
difficult it is.
we
Yep.
just never went there. It just was
Yeah.
not for us. But that's okay. Each game is different.
Hmm.
Just because I can't trust my players, so it's that simple.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to go there
You
anyway.
should.
There's
You
plenty.
should. Yeah.
No, 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 absolutely not. You got to understand when they had access to a 21st level mage, they were
Hmm.
running to him every week. Oh, I need a wish. I need a wish. No,
Hmm.
no.
But I simply say, well, then you have to start giving me stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just, but it's just, I couldn't do it. It's just not. Now I can see some entry level crafting, but there's as a DM, I give out stuff that I do give out stuff that is interesting and fun, right? So
Hmm.
I can't find it in here. Maybe it's in Dungeon Master's Guide. So I
Yeah.
wanted to show like like a weapon that I love, and then I don't and I grew to hate it.
But I like crafting because it's a great downtime you can do between sessions. You can say that my character is working on this, and then it can happen between sessions. It can even happen between campaigns. Like I put my game on hiatus, and then we can say, okay, it's now 6 months later, and your character managed to do
Yeah, we play
this.
every week though, so I don't need that.
Oh yeah, but it's something you can have it. But you have many gaming
Yeah, but you don't
groups.
understand. You're opening up the can of worms there.
Uh-huh.
The one time I did that, Alan came back with 20 scrolls with 7
Oh,
spells
but
each on them.
that's where I need to
Yeah, just
give
don't want
one
to
of
go
your
there.
main advice. You have to be able to say no.
I did that. I stopped it. That's why I have a no just
Yeah.
no emote. But
Oh yeah.
so we just don't do it anymore because it's just once again it's all about game balance. And
Hmm.
once we start having guys crafting +5 weapons, what's the point of adventuring?
Oh no, but then
Yeah,
we also have to figure out and meaning that
I can't
the
find it.
mechanic side of magic weapons and stuff. To me, there's two sides to magic weapons. One is they are a way of cheating, meaning you as a low level character, you can start wielding a +5 weapon, and that means that a first level fighter is as good as a fifth level or even higher, so to speak. It's a way to cheat. You can start doling out more damage and hit things you weren't able.
Hey, Steve.
That's one aspect of the mechanic side. And then you can also do things that you can't do. Even the 20th level fighter might not be able to hit that ghost, for instance, or something. You need a special weapon in order to do it. That's the other aspect. It gives you powers you would not otherwise have, regardless of level or proficiency or something. And when you do as a DM, when you create your magic weapons, you need to look at both of them. What purpose is the weapon going to have, so to speak? Is it just going to be something that cheats in that sense that it just gives more power. And then you also have to think about the rules. Do the power add to everybody? Is the weapon just sharper and better so a first level character can deal out more damage? Is it also better, making it better to hit? So how would that work? Would the 20th level characters be better as well as the first level and stuff? So that's the other thing, meaning what does it stack with? And that was something that third edition was also the first edition that kind of say, oh, these things don't stack with these things, because otherwise you get absurd kind of effects of it. And that's one of the tricky bit in game design, meaning what kind of bonuses stack with other bonuses, and is there a limit? Can you go whatever high, so to speak, in stuff? And those are tricky things to because as a DM, eventually you will have to design or dole out magic items. So you need to start thinking about these things. And I'm sure that almost every DM house rules in some sort, or just simply say, oh, I will not use that item because I think it breaks the game, so to speak.
Well, yeah, and that's where
Yeah.
I can't believe I can't find this.
Yeah.
I thought it was under miscellaneous weapons. I guess not. But
Mm-hmm.
the rod of flailing, which I've shown pictures of it. It's on the thing.
Yeah.
So we have I've given out. There's one rod of flailing in the game, maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
What? So we'll get there, Dale. We'll get there. Trust me, we'll get there. So the rod of flailing with the two heads, the two ball heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comes out early on in first edition in Dungeon. I believe it's Dungeon Master's Guide. And someone give me a page that's great. I got both that and Under Kano, but I could have sworn it was in the original Dungeon Master's Guide. Maybe I'm just smoking something. Add that with a guy with a character weapon specialization and look out. Because I have that. Bill's
Mm-hmm.
character. Bill has a dual class Ranger Knight of Yola character, Sorsha, who looks the Joanne Wally lookalike character. And it's insane. It's insane the amount of, because she's getting two balls with each attack and all that. It's just, and the unintended consequences of something is this was made in a time when this didn't exist, and now this exists. Weapon specialization. What happens, right? No, I don't think it's under rods. I thought it was under miscellaneous. Actually, I could have sworn it was under miscellaneous, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's under rods, but I'll check there. It could be, but I don't think it is because it's all different. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't see it. So it's a cool item, but I'm like, man, in the wrong hands, I got a problem on my hand. And I've also, and it's not the Rod of Lord of the Mites here, which is a great item. I'll give out Rod of Lord of the Mites all day long over a rod of flailing. Rod of flailing must be an Arcana.
So the Rod of Lordly Might, what is it?
Here's
is it that it doesn't do anything?
Well, it does. It does it, and it does a lot of cool things. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, seer shit. So Walt, you still there? So I'm just verifying if you remember the time I gave Alan. Okay, you guys can do stuff for a couple months, and he came back with 20 scrolls, all these spells on it. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell, man? What am I gonna, And just you got it. It's once again, I learned. You learn by allowing and then taking away. I guess is the thing. Page 94 and what in Arcana. Oh, that's why I can't find it because it's in Arcana. So I'll get to that. So Rod of Lordly Might. This is cool. It's a rod, functions which are many spell-like as well as uses magic weapon of different sorts. Has buttons on it, and paralyzation upon touch, fear on enemies, they get a save, drain 2 to 8 hit points when they're touched with it, and it drains a charge. But then here, you can use it as a +2 footman's mace, a flame tongue.
It's the Swiss Army knife, the fantasy version of Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. A +4 battle axe, a +3 spears. It also has a climbing pole, right? It also has you can smash open doors with it.
And you don't think that's overpowering?
No, I don't. I don't.
It's interesting because I would see an item like that more overpowering than a weapon that doles out a heck of a lot of damage.
No, I just because
that's manageable. But these things that if an item that could do 10 different things that and you just put it in your pocket.
Well, it's
That
not
to
in your
me is like,
pocket. It's a big metal
well,
rod. So,
meaning you
but
have you put it on your back, so to
yeah,
speak. That to me is like, this. But first of all, it's much more difficult to plan for me the consequences of it,
yeah,
and secondly, it's probably something that will it's not obscure in that sense. It will be legendary. People will talk
yeah.
about it over half the kingdom that you have it, and so that will be it will be much more, yeah, have a symbolic value in that sense, so to speak. A
Eh,
sword is a sword if yeah, if it hits hard, then meaning if you're high, then you can say I'm a high level, I'm a good warrior, so I hit hard anyway. And that's the other thing. Hawktails, I put more, it's a lot of the damage is just meaning a high level warrior would not need a magic weapon. He would do the damage anyway. So a lot of the stuff, the magic weapons for some sort, the basic magic weapons is something that will just add value. If you're a mediocre warrior or even a wizard, then you can use a magic weapon because that gives you more damage. A high level a warrior that is high level and specialized in it, whatever, he can do it anyway. He doesn't need a magic weapon. He wouldn't give him much extra. He can do that damage with whatever
Once
from
again,
metal
that
he's
you're going. That's a 5e thing.
No, it's not a 5e. That's something I built in
Well,
built in the
into
Hawktails.
a
Yeah.
5e system
Oh,
because
yeah. Yeah.
you got a 20th level fighter doing 200 points of damage in one round.
Well, but that's something that's been
Right.
from third edition, fourth edition, and
Right.
fifth edition. Yeah.
The same fighter,
And Pathfinder. Yeah.
say the fighter's 13th level, they get 5 attacks every 2 rounds. While specialized, they're going to do
Yeah.
maybe 50 to 60 points of damage if they hit.
Yeah, but it's simply you have more hit points because
Yeah.
that way it gives you a bit more margin to play with.
Yeah.
If you have very few hit points, that means that if you just put one more plus in there, that means that then you get like it's armor AC is the same problem in 5e. You have such a bonded.
Right.
It's so tight. The armor class is so tight. Meaning, if you give a monster one or a +1 to hit, or you give a monster one higher armor class, that means way more in 5e than in third edition or Pathfinder or fourth edition, because their armor class scaled up to like 60 or so. So one more or less didn't matter much. But in all of a sudden, once you tied up the math, and when it comes to hit point and damage, that's really tight in old school, and that gives you balancing issues. And that's probably one of the reasons they had tons of hit points in a lot of, because if you go up a little bit up and then it gives you more room to maneuver, so to speak.
I'll stick to 1e2e. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, but it's simply, it's just a effect where you want the problem to be, so to speak.
Yeah.
And in 1e is since you have very tight damage math, and in 5e they have the same problem with armor class. And so that it's simply where you if you want to have a tight system, that means that you very quickly get balancing issues. It comes with the territory. You get the positive of having a tight system, but the negatives is that if you tweak one number a little bit, then you fall out of the bandwagon and you have problems. So yeah.
Okay.
So, and every system have their drawbacks, because if you emphasize on something, that means that something else gets a little bit on the side. So yeah.
Well, it's a constant making sure that the
game system
functions.
is a balancing issue in itself.
Well, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
There's Tim.
Yep.
The Ring of Wizard is running. Oh, okay. I'm running a fourth. There you go. Well, that's funny, Curtis.
Yeah.
That is funny. What's up there,
Yeah.
Dave? Thanks for putting in your venture for Sunday for Virtual GreyHawk. I appreciate it. I got too many pages of shout outs. It's just freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So the rod, here's the rod of flailing. So it has, it's +3 for hitting and damage. Yeah. So and if you, has a cool defensive capability, but like it's got 2 balls, right? So every time, and if you're specialized and you're swinging that, then you're getting 4 attacks with it.
Wouldn't it be easier to just double the damage and be done with it? That way, you will, instead of rolling 2 to hit, you just increase the damage, and it's more flavor. You say, oh, it has two nasty bolts on it, and it does this much damage.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
Maybe a good idea. Anna.
Yeah, meaning that's what I've done in Hawktails. You don't get more attacks; you just do more damage. Period. So you get more damage dice, because that way you don't have to. You could limit the number of die rolling. So instead of
Yeah.
getting 3 attacks around, you just get 3 damage die. So
It's
when you hit hard.
yeah. It's a well. If you go by the rule, it says each of the weapons 2 heads is checked
Yeah.
for when possession attacks, so double hits can be scored.
Yeah.
So,
But that's one of the that's
just don't give
the
it
other
out
effect.
anymore. That's a simple thing.
No, but this is one of the things you have to, when you think about it,
Right.
meaning how much engineering do you want to simulate, so to speak, or
Right.
physics or whatever, or
Yeah.
do you just want to make it superficial? And it's interesting because D&D is very superficial when it comes to hit points and armor class, but when it comes to damage in first edition and number of attacks, all of a sudden we get very simulation-y. But and it's interesting, and every rule system has these issues. There's very
Right.
simulation-y in some parts and very symbolic in other parts, so to speak. And you just have to pick your fights where you want to be.
Right.
And what I'm saying is that you, as a DM and as a game designer, you need to be aware of those trade-offs.
I don't
where
want
do
to sound
you want to be specific and simulation-y, and where do you want to be just symbolic, just make abstract rules, so to speak.
I don't want to sound like an arrogant prick,
Yeah.
but I've been doing this for 44 years, so I think I got my system down.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing, but it's a decision. So
right,
if you don't
absolutely.
like it, then you can change it. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. It's like if you think that rolling so many damn dice is too much, then simplify it. Yeah.
By the way,
problem. But
everyone,
on the other hand, you might love it. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
My guys won't like it.
Okay, but then you should think about changing it.
No, yeah. Bill already said. No, we're not rolling one because no. Let's not even go there. Let's just
no.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that some people love to roll lots of attacks and, be simulation-y, and some gamers don't like it.
Right.
And if you like it, do more of it. If you don't like it, do less of it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All good.
There's not something is not better or worse. It's what suits your fancy. So
and no two DMs are alike, and that's the great thing about the game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
Yeah. So Curtis.
Yep.
We're going to do a quick announcement in between here because I want to get Curtis all excited.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I don't know if he'll get excited. Maybe he'll go, I'm stupid.
Oh, he gets excited.
Yeah, he'll be excited about this.
Yeah.
So Bill's out for like 4 to 6 weeks because he's a coach for his son's high school hockey team. And they're all their no, it's better in sour load. All their practices now are Thursday nights. So you're not gonna be around. So I'm not running Carlos's yet. I'm thinking to myself, what haven't I done that? Like I know Alan and Walt. I don't ever, and Tom, I've never run this for him. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do a return to, but I'm going to do a return to this starting Thursday night. Return to the Secret of the Sleep. I'm going to do A2. I'm going to start A2 on Thursday. I'm going to put it in a modern format in my campaign, like they've rebuilt it or something like that.
Yeah.
With the Bloody Brethren. So Curtis, guess who I'm NPCing in that group? Your favorite character of all time will be there, Fritz Winchester.
Oh.
So there you go. Yes. So Fritz, you get to see Fritz on Thursday night in A2. I'll pump it up a little bit level wise because that's levels 4 to 7. So, all right. Just to give you a little heads up there that we're gonna have. It'll be a challenge because putting that on the table is gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. It'll be probably 3 to 4 weeks of sessions. The Fritzies, absolutely. All right. So weapons. Mm-hmm. Basis for weapons. After GREYHAWK Adventures and after the Free Secret box set, and then all these second edition ones came out with a lot of cool, unique items, like this Mouth of a Graveyard came out, and then there's Saber of Storms, and that's in the Slavers as well. And then there is, and let me go to Treasures here. Let me go to Treasures of GREYHAWK. This has another imbued person. These items started me thinking, like, why aren't I talking about doing this more in my own game? I'm really only using published source unique weapons for the most part in my game. So we go to Treasures of GREYHAWK here, and I just want to show this adventure because I thought this adventure, it's a 2-part and we haven't done part 2 yet. So we go to Crossing into Steel, page 60. This one's in the Shieldlands. I probably ran this like 2 years ago on stream live. Right? There you go. And so a Santher, a former paladin, now priestess of Veroni. She's old. She takes the party and goes to this site, and at the very end of it, and you can, I guarantee you can find this on YouTube if you want to watch it. Tom's character, Pellinor the Golden, gets it. She infuses herself. Sorry for the spoiler. Into, there's the berserk clay golem. You got to find that into the end of it, and you get this: the Ansanther, the Holy Avenger. So this is another instance of something cool. I was like, oh wow, that's a great idea. Yeah, and the special purpose is to disintegrate Xenos Zempor, which is the next adventure. So he's going to get to use this for a little bit before that we do that adventure. Oh, thanks, Patrick. If you don't want to unbalance the game, but treasure especially artifacts, how many weapons in those artifacts? There are, so artifacts. I don't like the term artifacts, but like artifacts are things that, like gods, like an art, like for example, do I want someone running around with an orb of dragonkind in my campaign? No, especially with all the bad side effects it has. Do I want someone running around with what would be another one? I don't know. The Mask of Jodi. Do I really want that? Knowing what it's going to do to the game, Garner. You know what I'm saying? But do I want someone with a +3 longsword defender that has a couple extra abilities on it? I can live with that, right? Or even a Holy Avenger. A Holy Avenger. Do I want someone running around with a +3 bastard sword of sharpness? Maybe. Do I want someone running with a +3 bastard sword of Vorpal? No. Because sharpness at least only cuts off a limb. A Vorpal sword is going to cut the head off. Do I want to give them out on a regular basis? It's all about what do I want to have in the game, you know? And artifacts are tough because, as Anna said, you put an artifact in the game, it's going to change things dramatically, right? It really is. And so I don't want artifacts, but my guys have plenty of items. So, for example, I want to show you the back of a character sheet. You know what? I can just link it. We're not going to go to one of my guys. Yeah.
B-Town MC. I think I'm on your side, so to speak, in some ways. I'm going to make a quick counter argument.
Go for it.
In a way, I like my players to have, or play characters to have lots of artifacts. If they want to start hoarding them, in a way, I would love that, because that means that I can then literally unleash whatever at them and have fun, so to speak. So my players, they will rarely even touch an artifact, even the good ones, so to speak. They will stay away from them. It's like, no, I don't want that. That's trouble. I don't want that. So yeah, it's yeah.
And we also got to remember, I'm not just running one group. That's another thing I got to take in consideration.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So here we're gonna let's go to a already legendary character. My campaign's only 8th level.
Yep.
It's Mike Disney's character, Skarn Wolfmaster. Okay, he's an 8th level specialty piece of Morden, Mountain Dwarf, Lawful Good. So we're gonna go to the back and we're gonna go to his items. Okay.
The problem with artifacts is that you need to have powerful enemies, and you need to be able to stat them out to meet
well, exactly. And then you're going to have crazy creep, right? You're going to have and you got this.
Well, yeah, you need to start thinking. Yeah, you need to start from the top rather than the bottom, so to speak. You need to decide where are the top. What are they doing, so to speak? To why is the world not going haywire? What are the limitations in the world? So yeah.
Garner, I completely understand. I'm not worried about people not enjoying my game. It's not it. I have no illusions on that. I'm just not giving out artifacts.
You have the track record. You have 40 years of track record in the same group, which means that you run the game they want to play in.
Thank you.
Then you're doing it right.
But I want to show you what I do, which is, and I'll show this on a multitude of characters. Here is the personal touch is what the characters are looking for. This is my opinion. Not artifacts are great, but so. In one of the adventures in the Low Road, Skarn finds a weapon that is of his clan named Helga, a warhammer. Wow, he just so happens to be that's his main weapon. So we tie that into the character. And look, it's a +2 only
Is that
warhammer.
is that a
Yeah.
name he given to he called the weapon Helga? It's not the weapon itself that calls itself Helga.
That's the name of it, and Dwarven
Okay.
runes on there. But it's not an intelligent weapon.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm. Yeah, because we need to. That's a topic related to this show. Yeah, we need to go there too because that's another troop. Or yeah.
Well, Moose, you know what happens with Stairs of Power too. I mean, we could go there we're going to go there one downstairs. Stairs of Power and anything that can just absorb a incoming spell is rough. So hey, old times. Artifacts come with great risk. It's good.
Exactly.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. So +2 Warhammer. Adds 1 to his armor class, acts as a ring of fire resistance, and when he crits with it, he gets to roll an extra die 6 above and beyond what the critical hit is. Boom, done.
Yeah.
And he found it on a game, and he's like, I have a weapon of my clan now that was lost all those years ago. And he's ecstatic with it. And look, he's got some other cool items.
Yep.
You know, and this character's been adventuring like 2.5 to 3 years in the campaign. Dwarven Brewing Barrel, that's out of Welcome Great. Amulet of Foltis, which does something special. He ate Negative Reason, that gave him +1 Wisdom. If he failed to save, he would have died from it. So just, and there's his items. That's it. So just to show you a little personal touch number 1 on a character sheet.
It's awesome.
That's it. And that's why I don't need to go. Look, he's 8th level. Look at this. He is 150 experience off from going up to 9th and becoming a full lord in the Order of Ulick. So there you go. Very, very close 8th level character, and he'll be played. Mike Disney will be playing him again soon in the near future. It's just that's what they look for. What level did he start at? 4th. Dale, 4th. I start all my groups at 4th. Special groups, not my guys. My guys start at 1st. All my the latest special group we start that we're playing again on Saturday, by the way, is at 4th level. At 4th. So yeah, and that's it. I figured. Let's go here. So let me go to this. Here's another. And I'm thinking to myself now, do I need to create a backstory for each of these? No, but a little blurb on some of them, just to explain where they come from, is a good thing. I should.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all, and that is, I think, a DM trick. You should do that because otherwise the players will do it, and they will come up with stuff that can be very problematic, even more problematic than magic weapons and stuff, because they invent parents and uncles and all sorts of stuff into your campaign that you will have a hard time to uninvent, so to speak. And it's so that's an advice. You should invent the stuff you want, otherwise the players will invent it. Yeah. And they can often be awesome if they do. The problem is that if they invent stuff you don't want to have there, like a powerful uncle who should be there helping them, or dad, or something like that. So yeah.
Most magic items should have names. Most should mind morph, but it's tough, man. With, like I said, with 2,500 characters, it's tough to name them all. Like, so, and especially, you got a thief, you got an assassin coming at you with a +1 short sword, +1 dagger. I'm not going to name both them, right? And they don't have special abilities or whatever. They're selling those things off anyway. All right, so where was I going here? Okay. All right, go ahead, Anna. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, when it comes to artifacts, one of the, I think, that we haven't discussed is that artifacts are usually not laying around much. In my view, they are so powerful items. They are heavily guarded or mostly used.
Lost.
Yeah, or lost. Well, some of them are, but most of them are probably in some ways used, meaning take the really good holy avengers or evil swords. They're usually found in the hands of someone capable enough to hold on to it, so to speak. So in my games, my campaign, most items are not laying in a treasure hoard waiting to be discovered. They are actually, you have to fight for them. If you want to get a sword, an evil sword, you go out and kill an evil dude because he probably has one, or a death knight or something like that, powerful something. And if you want a good weapon, you serve some good purpose and they will give you one, because they think it's a good investment to give you one. You have to earn it. Those are the two main reasons you get stuff. You steal it from the enemy, or you earn it, or you have it made for you, or someone has it made for you because they think it's a good thing to invest in you.
Look at Bill mathing off in chat, and I was about to just show one of his most powerful, highest level characters magic item. This is on the back of Trevin Nim, his 12th level specialty priest of Tritherion, the highest PC in the of Tritherion priest in the game, second highest in all the published source, because I think Jandis are still a level higher. And this is Yeldrindar, Holy Freedom. Now this is a pretty powerful item. +3, and it's a head-shaped brass dragon. Yeah, this is an intelligent weapon. +3 head-shaped brass dragon, headed footman's mace. Ego 11, intelligence of 17. So he's 12th level though. It's kind of hard to control, for it to take over him. But here's where I love, and this is GREYHAWK campaign based thing. Special purpose powers display lawful evil or lawful neutral clerics of Foltest, which it hates. Tritherion hates Foltest, so there'll be magic items in it old times, absolutely, and but they gotta be scrubbed the GREYHAWK names on them at least. But there's gonna be magic items in it. Special purpose power, confusion on those when it hits, detects evil or lawful neutral at 100-foot radius, locate object 120, and then lawful evil clerics or clerics of Foltest. It can do some special abilities. So there you go. So this is back in the day where we got there's that enmity that Carl Sargent created between Tritherion and Foltest, and Tritherion hates evil, but Tritherion can't stand the Foltest worshippers. So there you go, Yeldrindar. That's one of the most powerful items. Is it super powerful in the hands of a priest, a straight priest, not a fighter? Okay, he gets but it's cool. It's a cool item, right? So
now
a couple steps below artifacts. It's a couple steps below artifact. Yeah, lesser artifact. Go ahead, Anna.
I was going to say, then we come to the interesting topic of ego and meaning intelligent weapons, and that has and that is it's an interesting. It doesn't come from D&D, but it's something that was very prevalent in old school games, meaning the rules. Dungeon Master's Guide had the rules for ego, especially swords, seems to have a thing for being egotistical, meaning to have there was someone. They were smart weapons that could talk or do all sorts of stuff. So when it comes to Lord of the Rings and fantasy and stuff, it's full of these kind of swords that have. But it's something you'd spin on. And meaning I did in my campaign. Meaning you had a soul that was bound into it. That soul can basically communicate. It can say, "Oh, there's danger behind you" or something. You can feel like you can wake the owner up at night, say like. Oh, you wake up, there's a nightmare or something going on. So it has basic capabilities of kind of sending emotions and stuff like that. So a few things. So I wanted to play with it a little bit. I've stayed away from speaking swords. I did that back in the day, and once I was past 20, I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And I had an evil sword that they took in the Reldevin campaign. That was simply it was a powerful weapon. It became every good creature you killed that day, you got a +1 on the weapon, up to +4, I think was the limit.
That's cool.
And they figured out, so to speak, and he was very tempted to go out and kill whoever or innocent people because the weapon was hungry, so to speak. So if you gave it blood, it rewarded you with power. And therefore he was very tempted, the player, to go out and so it was a murder hobo's dream, so to speak. So yeah.
So sorry, I'm multitasking. All right.
It takes away the player agency. That's one of the problems I have with ego. I want the player to be able to be in control of his character as much as possible.
So with the way intelligence and ego works, it's level plus intelligence plus half wisdom, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I can only recall in 40 years 2 instances. In one, I forced on the character.
Yeah.
2 instances of an item taking someone over. That's it. Because if a character's 9th level, they usually have decent stats to offset it. And then if they get down to like 5 hit points, say it's under 1/10, and they lose all their levels, there usually are other stats. All of them offset that intelligence and ego combination, so that they're not getting overtaken by the weapon.
Yeah.
That's something that I think the math doesn't work the way as intended for the originals. And I don't know what happens in third, fourth, or fifth edition with intelligent weapons.
Well, they went away from that control thing that
Right.
took away player agency. I think that became more of an issue in old school gaming. It's basically hold on to your agency because the DM might take it away or something. That was more like a part of the game that disappeared, so to speak, in later editions. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a playstyle. If you want to have that, meaning there's a whole game, 10 Candles, where it's a tug of war between the game master and the players. And if the players roll bad, the game master gets control of the narrative, and then he will drive it to the end of the game quickly. So you need to gain back player agency. That's the whole point of the game, and it's an awesome game.
Thanks,
so there's nothing wrong with that part, but it needs to be something you should have. Again, as a DM and as players, you need to understand is this a tool we want to play with? And do we want to use player agency, or do we want the DM to be able to take the character agency away from us as a player or not, so to speak? It can be an awesome tool in gaming. It's just something you need to be aware of. Should we use it in our games or not, so to speak?
Let's see Frederick Colwell's bongos in the list. Well, it's not a weapon, first off there. And secondly, we'll get there. I mean, we got a brand new starting first level bard, at least one, coming up on Saturday. As a matter of fact, let me get to. Of course, now I got.
Yeah.
All right, I got two things.
That's a cool illustration, though. That's.
This one.
Black Racer. Yeah.
No, that's Sword of Kos.
Oh, Sword of Kos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just had some that I caught before. All right, so this is a +3 short sword. This one you saw Thursday night. Rumple Foreskin. I'm sorry. The gnome. Tom's gnome has this guy, and it's a +3 short sword. Yes, name Lifekeeper. All right, and here it is on the back. It's intelligent. It's intelligence 14, ego 10. The stars, because the +3 short swords at the top of his page on the end. That's how old. Look how old that sheet is.
Yep.
It's character neutral with
the character name and Lifekeeper gives me associations that are kind of funny here. I shouldn't spell it. Yeah, anyway, just go on. Yeah.
Character neutral evil tendencies the weapon is, and look what it speaks. It's a drow weapon, right? Common, undercommon, character neutral, demonic. So it's kind of like it's probably a drow underdark weapon got somewhere.
Yep.
But look at the abilities it has. It can do it's a self-preservation weapon.
It can do cure light wounds
3 times per day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And magic missile.
Demonic. Okay.
Magic missile twice per day. Yeah.
Wow.
So this character neutral 11th level gnome has it. And so basically it keeps you alive. It heals you, and then if you're in trouble with fighting, you can shoot some magic missiles. That's the whole idea behind it. So yeah, I thought that was a really interesting one I made up was this one. And I don't know. My guess is this one was 2000. I don't know, 2000s. It's a guess when that one came into being. But that's I thought that was a fun one. All right, now let's go to this. Let's go to this one, and we're talking about imbued weapons. All right, so this is a Slaver's Reference 2nd edition. All right, Praemus and sorry, oh my god, my brain just shut off. Two great, Praemus and Sean Reynolds. Let's go to items in the back. So, and this is why it's named this. Here it is. All right, Mouth of a Graveyard. Now I changed it from short sword to bastard sword. This weapon was created by the evil wizard Minister as a tool for his most loyal minion. The Kiowish wizard captured and killed a paladin named Brickle and bound her soul to the weapon. However, the paladin was stronger than Minister expected, and she was able to retain a certain level of sentience with the weapon. Instead of helping the minion track evil folk, convince them to join, the sword dominated the minion's mind completely. It used the minion to slay the wizard and forced the minion to carry it. Casper to reach the Sheltermar River. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but hang on a second, just one comment.
Yep.
We talked about ego before. I think rules like dominating other stuff, that works really well when it's NPCs. the players, meaning if the players want to cast a command spell on an NPC or a monster or something, and the monster fails to save, then it works really well. The problem comes the other way around. That's when I have a problem. But it's just the way I want my players to have
domination.
Yeah, or all the other stuff, meaning you have these, or like a sword taking control of a character, so to speak. So
I said
so that's
extremely rarely happens. Bill and Walt, if they're on, will say that.
Yeah, you should have it.
Rare.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one's a +3 sword, lawful good, because Brickle's inside it, detects evil up to 60 foot. It also turns undead. The weapon does, which I think is cool.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
And it does a lay on hands. And it does a lay on hands as a paladin once per day. And then it has limited telepathy, 14 intelligence, ego of 9. So there you go.
Yeah.
But it's not dominating.
Cool, no, but it's a cool backstory, and it works really well. So
And so Bill's character, Sarah Leone, the paladin / priestess of Maheen, has that weapon. Got it in the Slaver's Adventuring. So there you go. So just wanted to share that one as another weapon that is published source that we utilize pretty well. Here are a couple of other old ones I've done. This one is, it's hard to read because it's just notes here, but this is actually rumored what Prince Trissarin's weapon is, even though it was never found, and I never even told anyone. They've always been searching for Prince Trissarin from the Havel Wars' weapon, but this is what his name, Reprisal. Okay, +2 longsword, flame tongue. All right, it's got some other abilities here. It has some special spell effects, which are all in chicken scratch there. But so it exists, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this. I may make some changes to this if they ever, because there are going to be missions to find this finally. They've been searching forever for this weapon, Reprisal. So I named it, and there you go. It's just so it's a longsword, flame tongue, and I put that in the portrait, but it's a +2 base. So. Yeah, and then last one out of this group here. These are two these were from Thursday night as well. These are from the little almost evil halfling that Walt was playing, right? The thief. These are Bacillard. One's a short sword, one's a Bacillard. +3. The short sword is really funny. It's a +5 short sword, +2 short sword, but it's +5 versus children. Yeah, it's got an intelligence and ego. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
+5 versus kids.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a chaotic evil weapon. 10 intelligence, 14 ego. It has empathy. On critical hit, half the damage goes back to the user. And then this is the Bacillard paralyzation. On a critical on a backstab, paralyzation, they get a save. So she keeps track every time she's successful with that. The weapon gets a skull and crossbone on it, and so does her arm. So on this from this Bacillard, and it has this aid spell on it that's good 1 time per day. Yeah, and she used this and is successful on Thursday night. Yeah, this one I can't remember who had it. It was one of these crazy cultist guys. So, and she didn't destroy it. She's character neutral. So, yep, there you go. There's a couple of them. A couple of the higher level ones, yeah, that I've created. But I got a lot more. So, what I would suggest is decide when you're thinking about this. And this is I want to get to Dale's question. Why would someone always want a +2 or +3 weapon over a +1 weapon with a special ability? All right, and that's where I want to say that I think I figured that out. In the old days, everyone wanted to get up to a +5 weapon. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore with double specialization and all the multiple attacks. It doesn't work.
The golf bag syndrome. We need to talk about that too. That's one.
You're absolutely correct, Anna.
The golf bag syndrome.
Iron Golem +3. Yeah, Lord 4. I understand that, but so if you notice in my games now, the smaller weapons tend to be more higher pluses with some abilities.
Yeah.
But now my brain just shut off where I was going with this. Okay. I got it. So let me go. A mainstay in the campaign. We'll go to one of Coco's characters. All right.
But hang on a second.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
because we talked about do you want specialized weapons or do you want a lot of plus? And one of the I call it the golf bag syndrome. It was very prevalent in third edition because you had all sorts of cool things a weapon could do. You had ghost touch weapons, you had life stealing, you had
Right.
all sorts of other stuff. Meaning,
Yep.
and the thing is that you can have some of these other stuff is just for flavor. Some of them are
Right.
necessary, like goat touch. If you have rules saying that incorporeal undead like ghosts and wraiths and stuff like that, if you can only hit them with a ghost touch weapon, everybody wants one in the bag, so to speak. And it doesn't matter if it's a +0 or just a masterwork. If you can kill ghosts, I want one. And then you have certain things can only kill elementals or ethereals or whatever it is. And all of a sudden you have 10 different creature types that can only be killed with special weapons. Then every wizard or fighter will carry a golf bag full of swords with weapons with different. You need a blunt weapon for this, a ghost touch for that, whatever, and so on. And to some degree, that it's fun to have that. There should be certain things that require some special capabilities, like a special material or a special property. But if it's overdone, Dungeons and Dragons Online had that phenomena. Every character that had a fighter type, you had 6 different swords. So you need one for all the different ones, just so you knew you can switch between them for whatever type of enemy came. And then as soon as it becomes a mechanical slog, then it's way too much. But so you should have a few of these, and that means that then if a system has full of these kind of special creature types, materials that certain creatures are immune against, and so on, and if you have lots of that, then you get then the pluses means less and the special abilities means more. But if you have a straight old school where that is just a little bit of flavor, that might be a silver thing that they are slightly resistant to or whatever.
Yeah.
And then pluses means way more. So that's a lot of it's up to the game system and the type of game you run, so to speak. So yeah.
So there are still things like skeletons in the game that require blunt for full, and then there's items like there's things like shambling mounds, which are tough to kill with certain weapons, and then there's mummies, which all weapons do half damage, and all sorts of other things. But with the way we do weapon proficiency, and it's not in general category, but weapons themselves, so people they're not as worried anymore as they used to be. And they used to be worried about all that stuff, but my guys aren't golf bagging anywhere near as much as they were back in the day because of some of the things we implemented. So all right, so here's Fawnland, right? She just made 7th level. She's 6'7" now. She's got all right. Longsword, Bardiche, longbow, and then some of the other special abilities I have in my feats: extra spell slot, spell extension, toughness. So she has 3 weapons. She does have a longsword capability. So we come down here and notice she's 6'7" and she still only has a +1 weapon. All right. That's why I love Juju Zombies. You got it. Because they're immune to magic missile too. I love Juju Zombies. +1 only still. But she has a keen Bardiche. So what items that give special, like even if they're not a great, like a really powerful with multiple abilities or +3 or whatever. But imagine this, and we had this the other night too. Rumple had as a backup weapon a +2 short sword that does 1 point of acidic damage bonus, which is great against trolls, right? So I pulled that out. So okay, flame tongues are great against certain types of undead, right? Most undead. Keen weapons, my game, they crit on 19 or 20. So, and is she going to want to have a +2 Bardiche? Want to upgrade to a +2 Bardiche, or stick with the one that crits on the 19 or 20? With my game with hero points. That's what you got to think about, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I don't have to worry about them wanting, I want a +2, +3, +4 in the playstyle. Now, if they ever want to seek out more powerful weapons, and a lot of my group Need to have both, Bill says. Well, Bill, maybe in our maybe we're I gotta distinguish between the special online groups and our regular group because you guys have a lot of abilities and stuff already. I don't have any of your characters up here because you're not playing this week. So let's take a look at someone, and we'll show something here if I can find them. All right, here's one. This is Tom's character, Gerlag Grenamore. Let me go to a bigger screen here. I want to show this another really cool thing. To hit +2 or better at some point. Yeah, I understand that, but how many when I ran Bill, when I ran the elemental game that we just did, and all those archons require +2 or better weapons to hit, did I actually say to any of the players from the Saturday group, "Up, you can't hit that"? So, right? I know, but for you guys, I would. You're not going to be able to see his weapons, but he has a weapon here, and here's another idea. It's called an azurite spear. Now, the azurite is a gem. Now, I know there's red steel in some games, and there's what's the other stuff? Earth blood, right? In GREYHAWK. There's all sorts of other special things you could do. What do you do with charisma? Charisma is a stat on. Yeah, the other groups are soft. See, you guys are always trying to create enmity between the other groups. His azurite spear is considered masterwork, and masterwork is a +1 to hit crafted weapon. They can actually buy. You can buy crafted masterwork weapons in cities. They're 10 times more than a normal weapon. So if you want to get a +1 weapon, you haven't found a magic one yet, you get a masterwork one. But if a magic spell is cast around this azurite, the energy from the spell goes into that and makes it magical for 1 hour per level of the spell cast. It's got to be magic user, no clerical. So, say it's a magic missile or a detect magic spells cast in the area effect. It actually imbues that, and then it makes it a +1 weapon that's keen as well. Now they're very brittle and they can be broken on fumbles, but that's an item. We got that from an expeditious retreat press idea, right, Walt? It's a cool idea. So we have a couple azurite weapons and a couple azurite magic items in the game, and it's just take that on, take it for something else. Maybe Earthblood is a super powerful thing, or you find this special imbued meteorite steel that can do special. You can craft specialty. Take something. There are +3 weapons. I didn't say Lord Forth. I didn't say there weren't. Why should the whole party have +3 weapons? Right? Not everyone's going to get a +3 weapon. But there are some people who have acquired +3 weapons. I'll give you an example. I think Tim, not our Tim, but Tim liked playing the character Lindara, right? If you're still on there, other Tim O'Donnell. That character, Lindara, has a +3 similar. She's not proficient with because no one uses it. But she's like the only person in the party with a +3 weapon, right? Well, that's good in case you have a creature. At least you have one in the party. But I don't think that we should worry about everyone. Oh, now everyone needs +2s. Everyone needs +3s. I don't think the game should work that way. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Anna.
But well, that's something that in 3rd edition and Pathfinder 1 and I think even 4th edition, that was really important because armor class and basic attack bonuses just scaled up immensely.
Yeah.
But old school is 5e is very controlled when it comes to armor class, and 3rd edition was inflation up the wazoo. Old school AD&D or like AD&D 1st edition and 2nd edition is somewhere in between 5e's super controlled and 3rd edition's haywire, so to speak, and it's somewhere in between because fighters scale a little bit too much. They go a bit too far off the rails in some sense, and some of the other ones are really, and it varies a lot, so to speak. But it's and that's something that then it becomes, and it was interesting. Mike Merles had an interesting blog back in the early 5e days when he was designing it. It was called D&D
Yeah, man.
Next, and he had said that at first a +1 weapon is it's a fantastic treasure when you have low level games, but once you're 10th level plus, you can just throw it away because it doesn't. +1 means nothing when you're in 3rd edition era, when you're 15th level. +1 no now. When monsters start coming with armor classes ACs in the 50s, then +1 didn't mean much. You needed a +5 weapon to even make sense. So in that sense, it's much 5e is much more tight when it comes to it, and a +1 weapon is always a good addition, so to speak, or to your hit ability, or so it's basically up to game design. And old school is somewhere between. It's have a half problem with scaling armor class, and Thaco hid it to some way. So in that sense, Thaco is good because it kind of obfuscates the armor class to some degree, so it becomes less obvious, and the problem is there, but you can't really notice it as much, because that's something that you as a DM, you kind of, well, I interpret the role and say if you hit or not. And once you have ascending armor class, it becomes obvious. And if you say that the monster has an armor class of 42, then the player of a 2nd level fighter knows that, oh, I can't even hit it, not even with a +5 weapon. And it becomes ridiculous in that sense. But on the other hand,
that is crazy.
It's kind of cool. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It goes, yeah. So and that's why they wanted to rein it in. So both Pathfinder 2 and 5e has much tighter, very tight, even tighter than old school when it comes to armor class and stuff. And then you get balancing issues that comes with it, just like you have tight hit points in old school. So there you. You just need to be aware of it when you play, so you can tweak it or house rule it, and you need to be aware of the plus and minuses. And one of the ways I try in Hawktails to come around some of these problems is that you have minimum damage, meaning you have minimum damage. If you hit, you can do damage even to ghosts and stuff, because I wanted to get around the golf bag syndrome. And I wanted that fun. If you have a weapon and you can hit, you always do damage. So when you hit, you always do damage, at least 1 point, no matter what. If you hit, you will do damage. The only exception is things that have true resistance or true immunity. Like if you have a fire attack and you try to use a fire attack against a fire elemental, for instance, then it will do no damage. But those are rare. Everything that is made out of flesh or blood in some sort, and even ghosts or whatever, if you hit it, you will do at least 1 point of damage. And then you have minimum damage that you dole out to in a lot of sense. So if you don't, well, if you do a lot of damage and you have high armor and stuff, that means that you have to have it. There's 2 ways of killing things. You either have something that is very, very powerful and you go to penetrate its armor and dole out tons of damage, or you hack at it and do minimum damage every time and hope that you're alive long enough to do it, so to speak. And so you can there's always 2 ways to get at things. And that was, I wanted to get around it. So whatever you have, at least you're part of the fight, so to speak. So you don't need a specialized tool. You can go after a dragon with whatever you want, and you do a little bit of damage, but you will not kill it by yourself. Yeah.
So here, I just put in, I think where the point I'm trying to make is, I believe in having some sort of solution somewhere on one of the character sheets for a problem. I'm not throwing them into a problem where, oh my God, there's an iron golem and no one has a +3 weapon. Yeah. What's up, Tom? Hey, Tom, you missed. I showed Lifekeeper. That cat neutral evil tendency weapon for Rumple Foreskin. He just missed that.
But Jay, that's good foresight. As a DM, you need to think about stuff like that, and that's part of it is what the system you're running and the rules you're using, what kind of pitfalls come in, because all rule system comes with pitfall built in. And you, as a DM, you need to be aware of where the strong sides and where the weak sides are, and then you need to mitigate it, and in order to make it fun, so to speak. And it's also different players. Some players like to have obstacles and pitfalls, and that's part of the fun. And other game groups, no, we want to play superheroes, and we get cranky if we don't. So it's very much, you need to to run a game that gives the right feel you want at the table. That's another key part of
And
this.
it's not easy to do. It's
Exactly,
definitely not easy to do. All right, so let me show you something here about generational weapons. All right, so Farnland's this is Coco's character Farnland. Her mother, Amnestria, a priestess of Freya. Remember, I had a lot of those gods before I even had Greyhawk gods. Was on the retinue with Prince Tressarin during the Hateful Wars. So if you notice on the back here, we have Amnestria's spear, and that's her mother. They actually found her mother's spear before the adventure even happened. So she kind of Now her mother, the ghost of her mother actually gave her this amulet during one adventure just a little while ago.
Do you hint at the special purpose of it, or do you just let the players?
Well, she really wasn't. She really couldn't utilize it at that point. But then I did the Hateful Wars, and let me just show you. Here's Amnestria, who she played in that Hateful Wars. They all played their relatives, and this was a party
the
wipe.
Ancestors.
So, but she ended up fighting at the end and was surrounded. You don't know what happened to her. A lot of people, it was a Bush and Sundance moment here. So here's the spear. So here's Amnestria's spear. It's named Epiphany. Okay.
Plus 2. It's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. Plus 2 spear, an extra point of lightning damage. It can do the spark shower effect from a ring of shooting stars once per day in an arc, as well as another ability. So Epiphany is what's up, Celtic? It's a cool weapon, not overpowered. Would you rather have a plus 3 weapon or this? I'd rather have this with the spark shower and and things like that, or even a plus 4. I think I'd rather have this. So she didn't want it because she's a Bardiche user, Farnland. She, from the goodness of her heart, gave the spear to Korg's character Maram, the monk who uses spear. So actually, she just has it on her sheet because it's her mother's, and knowing that Maram, if she ever stops using it, will give it back to her one day. But her mother's spear's in the hands of a half-orc, 25% orc monk. So there you go, and that's one of the things. So I've tied a lot of these characters into having some kind of connection through weaponry. Let me see if I can throw out some more here. I'm going to show you a couple others. All right, and Bill and Walt, and Tom, if you guys want to talk about any other special weapons you have, please do, and then I will. All right, so I got a whole bunch here. I got some here. So let's go. Why don't I have Thomas Younger? He should be here. Okay. All right, let's just go to another one. Here's another cool weapon. This is a Dwarven weapon. Or is it a Dwarven weapon? So I'm gonna find in here. Let me go to Durgrim. This is Phantom NJ, Rob Phantom's dwarf that works with Skarn. 7/8 fighter thief now. He has in an adventure got the weapon Prospector. Plus 2 longsword. So it's a dwarf using longsword. Plus 3 versus golems. All right, that problem solved there. Right there, Hector. All right, solved it. So it doesn't have to worry. He can use this against golems. And stone. So any kind of stone creature that may be a plus 3 detects gems per metals at will, and he can use the spell Pass Wall 1 time per week with it to open up in a chamber, because that was the ability of the weapon. So you can open up a chamber, a new area, using a Pass Wall spell, so there you go. Just a little cool. Your Khopesh and longsword Gallant. Yes. Who's got Gallant, by the way? Did I just give that out? See, I should put a compilation of them all together. Yeah, you got a really great Khopesh too a couple weeks ago. He got a Khopesh from a Dark Druid. Bill's character did, one of the Narwhal Headhunters. Yeah. Your Archer Druid got that, right? You Gabbin the guy Yaxner, he wanted to play a half-orc. In old school, you can't play a half-orc monk. And you can't dual class. So I said, you have orc blood in you, but you're human. So he's a 3rd level fighter, and then he dual classed over to monk, and that's how we got around it. So he's 25% orc blood. But he has human capability. So there you go. Farron in the Arm of the Great One. Yes, the Great One. That's right, the Great One from the Dark Druids. Just a cool little thing for a dwarf. Now, that's how useful is detect gems and metals as a combat? It's not.
Where dwarf is very.
It is, but it's part of outside
kidding.
of it's outside of
Yeah.
combat.
Yeah,
right?
but it's flavorful stuff like that is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's another
Yeah.
another one here. Let's see here. All right, all right, let me just keep on going here. And by the way, if you guys are getting bored with me sharing these, please let me know and we'll move on a little bit as well. But I want to this one is April Nicole Hill's character, Kithrin. The one that looks kind of like Lagada from Vikings. Kithrin Ingstad. Okay. The character was based on Lagada. Her deity's Cord the Brawler, plays Origins Frost Barbarians, but she is a fighter, not a barbarian. She just found they found an elven cache from Hateful Ward, unknown who these belong to, but they found 2 of them. The +2 longsword Fearless. It makes you immune to fear. So if you're okay, and crit damage minimum from humanoids and giants ×3. So there you go. That's it. Detect iron steel means detect enemies. It could be. Precious metals only. I mean, yeah, precious metals, Sam. It's not detecting. See, once again, Sam is on the level of Alan or Tim. Because Alan or Tim would go, well, I can detect people's armor now with it. And I go, no, you can't. And then they go, yes, I can. And I go, no, you can't. We go back and forth 12 times. And then I'd have to finally use the no, just no emote. And Sam is like that the same way, too. Ask those questions. So yes, it's just
I wouldn't have a discussion. I would simply say you don't detect anything.
Yes.
And you don't tell them that
laughing.
They can't detect it. You just say you don't find anything. And after a while, they have to figure out that I can see the thing, but I can't detect it. Yes, exactly. You can't detect it. So, yeah. But that's the problem. D&D physics is always a problem. And when I started playing D&D, I also played very much like an engineer, and it was we had so many arguments about infravision and stuff like that and so on. And then when I started using things like that at work, and I knew how they work in the real life, that's when I could start yelling. But we had a problem. We had one of our players were a horse riding instructor. He could tell us everything about how horses, and we were like, oh, he was so frustrated when he was dictating how what you could do on a horse and stuff. So it's one of these things, and to me, it was a phase we had to go through. I had to go through it as a player and as a DM, and I just suggest get over it. It's not an engineering thing, and it's a game, and in that sense, it should be game. That's one of the few things that I think should be gamified, so to speak. Yeah.
This is another character, Ithrin of House Karcher. She is a priest of the brand new Saint Benedor, if Gary's on, right? So she's a priestess of Saint Benedor. And in that cache where Kithrin found a weapon, there was a second one. Oh, I didn't even write it. I didn't even update it. Sorry. It's a +2 bastard sword named Intrepid. Alignment neutral good. Massive crit D6. So if you crit, you roll your damage, but you have to add a die 6 to it. And it allows for the spell personal only, free action once per day. Makes you immune to paralyzation. It makes you immune to all sorts of whole person spells and things like that. It's a 4th level cleric spell. But it's only person. See, when I put a P, you barely see it. I thought I had typed this one in and updated it. When you put a P on there, that means personal only on the spell effect. All right, so that's just another one there. I thought I put it on the sheet, but I hadn't. Now, going to some other. Here are some that have not been found. Here are 2 that have not been located. These are Hateful Wars ones that they may be searching for in the future. One of them is a real big joke here. So this is Skarn's father, Skarnir. In the second adventure, The Destruction of Wolfmaster Keep, he was playing Skarnir. Right, he is a Shiltane. Yes, this is a joke, everyone. Yes, I'll get Walt, thank you so very much. His +2 battle axe named Deliverance. I had the movie on my mind. But on a killing blow, it heals him 1 die 10. So if he gets the killing blow on something, he gets healed by it, and he can cast spell repair injury 1 time per week. So there you go. That's an axe. Simple. Guess it's delivering him from being killed. So, yeah, so Deliverance is still missing in the campaign. So, the brother I already went over them, Bill. You missed that at the beginning. I went over the brothers. Yeah, mysterious banker music. Here is another one. This is the mother of Lergia. This is Lerdina. She is another one of Prince Treserin's court. She was actually the niece of a grandmother of Lergia. She's the niece of Yolande. And this was Bird's character played during the 24-hour stream. Hanali Selenol fighter mage, right? She got killed, and her +2 longsword named Brilliance does double illumination, so it illuminates out to 50 feet. You know, in old school weapons illuminate longswords to 25. This goes to 50. It's almost like Sting. It glows blue with humanoids around 200 feet. That's how they knew that humanoids were coming. And you can cast a spell Fairy Fire once per day. Simple. That's a good. I mean, Fairy Fire is a powerful spell in old school. I don't know. Is it super powerful, Dale, in 3rd edition, 4th edition? Because thieves can't hide anymore, and you get +2 to hit when you draw Deliverance. It sounded doing exactly. I think it's pretty funny. I did that as a joke to Mike Disney. So there you go. A couple others. Now here is one that I did not make, but I changed and enhanced. And I know I'm going to get a laugh here. I think Curtis is not on right now, but I know he would laugh if he comes back on. And this is my good friend Todd Stashwick's character, Morton Didif. Morton, yes. Morton Didif's fighter mage. There's
I
Morton.
thought it was spelled with an A at the end
Morton.
instead of the second O. Yeah,
that's how he spelled it. Morton has, and this was in his. He said, "I have this special sword. Can you enhance it for me?" I was like, "Yeah." So this one's scalable. So it was +1 when he started out at 5.5, but now that he's 7.7, or he was 5.6 when he started. It's named Whisper, so now it's +2. It's scalable. Silence 5-foot radius once per day. He can do that, and that's on a target that he's fighting with. And then spell message once per day, and that is Whisper, his weapon. And so, and he played, last time he played was with Curtis, Brett, and everyone, and Joab and everyone at Founders and Legends. He played Morton in Tharisden. And that was the one he brought to me and said, I have the spell Whisper. I forget what effects it can do. And I said, don't worry about it. And he's like, brilliant. So there was a create weapon. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. There are many, but we are going to talk about the Star of Terror in a second. Because, watch this, Dale. Watch this. I'm going to snap my fingers. Oh, it's in this book right here. Relic and Rituals. So, if we go down to Magic Weapons, it's listed in there, but then they go see this, and another one that Bill's character Bill's priest of Palor has it, because she did this where is it? It's under weapons. My gosh, I forget what page it was on. I think it's under weapons, which is right before. Here we are. It's right here. It's right here. Staff of Terror. Star of Terror. There it is. Right one? Yep. So, it's not 3-headed, but Star of Terror, since, now, I love bringing in stuff from I love Tomb of Abystor. This event, this has been her main weapon since, I want to say, since we did this adventure, and she was like probably 6th, and now she's 10th or 11th, she still has her main weapon. The Star of Terror lets its cruel and bloody calling card throughout the Scarred Lands. Well, there, it's in GREYHAWK now. It's a +3 Morning Star. When an opponent is struck with a Star of Terror, the weapon changes the wound to appear more horrifying and terrible than true damage warrants. Each time the victim is struck, he must make a will, I do a magic save, or -1 on all morale, saving throws, attack rolls, ability checks, skill checks, and weapon damage rolls. Because it's so hard looking. I think it's a really cool. Hey, Tim. Yes. Tim.
That's how I see psychic damage in 5e. It's
Yeah,
kind of one of these. Yeah.
It's a really cool one.
Yeah.
And there are some artifact level stuff, Dale, in there. Yeah, it's not 3-headed as far as I can tell. It's just a Morning Star. There is a 3-headed one in there too that I did not give out because it was too powerful. An Abystar. But this one I could give out. So yeah. So that was more tentative. Oh, let me do this. So this is one more.
There's some good old books there.
Oh yeah,
third edition era, really cool.
Third edition era that is easy.
There were some
back.
awesome splat books because there were so many of them. So there's a lot of stuff that whatever you like, there's a lot of it you will not like, but there are some gems in third edition. Yeah. Yeah, Necromancy Games did some really cool stuff.
Necromancy Games was the best. I loved it. All right, Rosie Applebottom. Everyone knows Rosie. Remember, Darling dressed up as Rosie during Gary Con. This is just
and all. Yep.
Yeah, this is a way you can make a small person much more powerful against very powerful things. So you can steal this. Her weapon here, her dagger, +3 in her secondary hand, +3 dagger of carving, does triple damage against all golems when a hit. So against a stone golem, it's only die 3 in the game, but it's 3 die 3. There you go on your scale thing, Anna. Against a flesh golem, it's 3 die 4 because they're man-sized or whatever. But that's it. Dagger of carving, simple thing. It's +3, so it attacks all golems. It's like a chisel, exactly. It's a dagger of carving. It carves right. Yeah, exactly. So.
In Hawktails, what I've done is, I probably mentioned it before, that what I've done is that when you specialize in a weapon, you increase the die size. So when you specialize in dagger, you can increase it from a D4 to a D6 to a D8 you can specialize 4 steps, so up to a D12.
We allow that one weapon mastery. We'll allow that. Yeah, we do allow that.
Yeah, so you have four levels of specialization, and the fourth one is mastery, so to speak. So you increase the die size or do more damage. So on all weapons. So that means that if you're a dagger master, you are deadly with daggers. There's still limitations to daggers against some big monsters and stuff. So there are some monsters that are only fully affected by deep cutting weapons, and daggers are not cutting deep. So there are, but so in that sense, you can, if you want to be the thuggish type of fighter, you can use you can specialize in dagger, short sword, and stuff, and you can. But there's some weapons you can't do it. They're weak weapons like darts and stuff. They don't scale up. So there are some weapons that are not. They're so weak in that sense that they don't, their die size don't scale up. Like knife is one of these little things, and so they're more like kitchen utensils and not weapons. And darts are the same thing. I don't have lawn darts in there, but I guess
lawn darts or jarts.
yes, but that will go as a thick spear or something. We'll see. I'm just kidding.
There you go, Curtis. Just for you, Morton Dividiv. His weapon is Whisper, and we discussed it. You just missed it, and he helped me. He's like, yeah, I have this, but I forget what the abilities are. Here is Luke Kagax's character, Eleator, the son of Melf, fighter mage as well. But he found that we got a weapon during, they thought they were searching, and this goes back like almost 3 years with in a 2 drink minimum, one of the first adventures, and that Luke played in it, and I believe you played in it too.
Yeah,
and they found Captain.
That was the adventure when he was trying to cast the spell at long distance.
No, that was during Virtual GrowdCon 1.
Oh, okay, that was
during Virtual GrowdCon. Yeah. This is the one where all the it had the Galf. It was called the Eyes Have It. Yeah,
okay.
So they found Captain Folray's short bow, which Eric Menge's Guardian got, and they found Captain Folray's longsword instead. And it's a +2 weapon. It really has no name on it. It's keen versus humanoids and giant kind. So it'll crit on 19 to 20 versus those creatures. It's another Hateful Wars weapon. So, yep. There you go. Another one. Wait a minute. Did I miss something in chat there? Yes, we still need some more DMs for Virtual GreyHawk. And by the way, GreyHawk Reborn and Troller Games promised they'll get their stuff in. Thank you, Armin, for getting your game in. I'm sorry I had to put it on Friday night because Darling was already on Thursday. And thank you, their Guild Superior, for getting yours in as well. So we're starting to get some stuff in, but we do have some things. We do have some time just DMing too. So there's another one. That's Eliador, the son of Melf. And again, we can go on and on about stuff. So crafted weapons, I have no problem in my game giving out masterwork weapons or them buying masterwork weapons because I think there should be a high craft weapon in the game. It's +1 to hit. There's no reason you can't make it the other way around and it's 0 to hit +1 damage. You could make it that way if you want in your game. Hey, G-Dub, good to see you. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Do you want to give out some magical weapons? Well, that's up to you if you want to give out some low-level plus weapons, and they're part of a guild. And like I said, they're part of the Thieves Guild in GREYHAWK. And they did something for there's no reason to do that. The CNC has that? Yeah. I love putting special abilities on the weapon. How about this? A longsword +1, +3 versus fire. So it's a +3 weapon, and it's +3 hit and damage against fire elementals, salamanders, mephits, right? You can do that. Or flame tongues are great, but frost brands are great, right? But why not have a fire brand? Or, and just switch it around. I've done that 100 times, where it's not a frost brand and it only illuminates when it's cold, but it's a fire brand, so it gets cold using. +1 +1 damage costs like 10 times. That's it, Dale. One or the other. One or the other. That's absolutely it. Also, naturally occurring, like we've had weapons that have come out of volcanoes, volcanic rock, right? Basalt. We've had basalt weapons that are usually shatterable, but they get extra damage because they're super sharp.
You can have like volcanic glass. It's very, very sharp and so on, but it only works once. Once you
Yeah.
crit with it,
It breaks.
then it breaks. So you can use it once.
Yeah, and those are some of the ideas that you can do with creating weapons that are not +5. Here's another thing. Why does the Holy Avenger have to be +5?
Or it doesn't have to be. My Holy Avengers, they come with from up, so to speak, and
yeah. So
they come the whole range. Yeah.
Some weapons I've kind of gotten away from ever giving out again, especially Vorpal weapons. Cutting heads off on a crit, especially in my game of all the hero points, is dangerous. I like sharpness ones because it's only a 1 in 5 chance after the crit. So I'll give them out. Wounding weapons, once in a blue moon I'll give out, but I'll give out a weird one. So back to Dale's question on bizarre weapons. We love to have a variety of weapons. So if someone plays something that's not a longsword, Basilard's a big one in our game. Scimitar, Falchion, Kapesh, Glaive Guisarme, Vools, I don't care what it is, Vector Corbin. If you use that, I'm going to make sure that there's a magic item somewhere in the game for you. I'm not going to penalize you for, you know what I mean? I'm not going to penalize you for for taking one of those. I want you to take that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Lightsabers are breaking. I agree, BB.
I'm not sure in Hawktails how I will put in Vorpal and swords of or weapons of sharpness and stuff. I'm thinking because I don't like they have outright rules of decapitation and stuff. So maybe I'll put them that they go through. First of all, they should not cut through armor that easy. But the thing is that once you hit with them, maybe you can have they can have exploding damage dice or something like that. So you can you just roll. If you roll high, you can just keep rolling. Every time you roll max damage, just keep rolling, or some cool effect like that on some of them. Like and simply say sharpness and Vorpal are the same thing or whatever. So you can have if you're lucky, then you cut through whatever, and then if you kill them outright in one go, then you say you decapitate them, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So and since when you crit, you roll much more damage dice, the chance of one of the dice escalating is much higher, so to speak, so that it's going to happen. So that is probably my how I will lean into these things. It will not be like, oh, if you hit 20, then you just do it automatically. I think it will be fun to have like a escalating or cascading or like exploding damage dice or something on them, so they are simply cut deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah, they're scalable items, Patrick. I've done some. There are scalable items in my game now. We just showed more. We just saw Todd Stashwick's character has a scalable weapon. There's a couple of them. I'm doing them a little bit more. I know one of Bill's characters, his Bill's dwarf, I think, in one of the Harby groups. All right, so back in the day, I start playing with Tim and Walt. And there was another side group. Guy's name was Jeff Moore. He actually watched a couple times about a year ago. Came in, and then I'm going over there, and they start. You guys are gonna laugh. Your shield thing. There you go. Bro. There are these things called planar blades. I'm like, they're lightsabers. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not, because they're all different, right? So there's one with negative. There's one that's close positive. I'm like, they're freaking lightsabers. So the symbol on this originally was a hammer of thunderbolts, and that is a planar blade, the sword, back in the day in the Monty Hall days. But I changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just know we were affected by Monty Hallism too. We had lightsabers running around in our game. They were just called something different.
Yeah, but there was one thing with planar. I'm not sure if it was I know it existed in 3rd edition, but my guess it might have been in 2nd edition too. You might know, Jay. The fact that if you have a magic weapon that was manufactured on one plane, when you moved it to another plane, it lost its potency.
Oh yeah. Well,
so was that back in the earlier days too? I know it was in fact in 3rd edition.
The first appearance of it is in Q1 when you go to the Queen of the Emerald Pits. You go into the Abyss. Your weapons all drop 2 pluses.
Yeah,
these are prime material.
So you can have exactly. You have weapons have home planes. So that to me is an interesting thing, because then you can have like things that are more powerful up in the
So let me see if I can find this real quick. So there are some. Now, why isn't D3 showing up? Vault. There are some things that are so imbalancing, that are so great, I can't get them out of my game.
Yeah.
All right, and one of those is in Vault of the Drow, the original Vault of the Drow. I think some of you know where I'm going. But I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find it here, so I'm going to just type it in.
But the draw weapons were originally, if they exposed to sunlight, their magic disappears and stuff. So
right, they do, but not all of them.
Catch-all. No, that's true. Yeah,
right, but not all of them. But there was an item created called a Ring of the Drow. If you wore that magic, counted one of your magical rings, then the stuff wouldn't spoil.
So there you go.
Yeah. No, here it is.
But that ring will probably be more worth to people than the weapon. So if they have it, someone will come and cut the whole damn hand off just to get the ring, so to speak. So
I love tentacle rods, Jeff. Venarian Vord's got a tentacle rod, and he uses it, and he's the Death Lance right here. Yeah. So, and it's. I wish, like, it's obscure. All right, so it's a Death Lance. It's only a +1. It's a spear, but when it hits, it does the normal damage, but it drains. It does 3d4 of damage in addition to normal points inflicted by the weapon. Now, I do it on a crit, but in this, it's anyone who also got hit with it. You have to make a save, or you get drained 1 to 4 life levels. I thought that was a little too much. And it lands at 6 charges. I made it no charges, but it only can drain the levels on a critical hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's and it's a spear. So Death Lances are cool, and they're only +1. So and that's out of Vault of the Drow.
Yeah. One of the house rules I had that I think I will carry over to Hawktails is that if you get like a life-stealing weapon, that it can in 5e now I have it that it steals death saves from you, so it takes them away,
nasty.
so to speak, and then you get them back when you level up. You get one back when you level up, so that you will naturally heal over time, but it's nasty. But you can mitigate it if you have unspent XP. You can mitigate it, so you can sacrifice them to keep your lifespan or whatever it is. So you might have weapons that they literally steal lifespan from you or steal death saves and stuff like that. So some of the evil weapons, they are nasty that way. Yeah,
That's
they
gross.
get to you. They get to you that way. Yep, and they can give you the doomed condition, so you don't get any death saves. That they will come for you when you're dead.
Oh, that's an actual condition in the game, doomed. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Is that a spell?
No, it's a condition. Once you can
Wow.
be doomed if you sell your soul to someone. You're doomed. Or you can be doomed by if you for instance take possession of an evil artifact. The artifact might doom you. So when you're dead, you become the part of the artifact or whatever, so to speak, and you can have weapons that doom you. So when you're dead, you will be almost impossible to resurrect. The weapon will take your soul.
Oh my gosh! Well,
yeah, so nasty stuff like that. So that like you can have.
Well, that's like
yeah,
Eric and Melnabone's weapon.
Yep. Yeah. So you can have stuff like that that would scare even high level creatures or whatever. So nasty stuff like that. Yeah.
No, we have not.
Magic 10-foot pole. Oh, that's awesome.
No. I read the Rod of Loreley might takes the place of the 10-foot pole for the most part when you give one out.
It's a telescopic 10-foot pole. It should be. It's an item that should be in every old school game.
For normal size, we can extend out 12 feet long or like that. See, that's a cool item. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of really cool items. Like we just gave one out too that I loved. It's called the Buckler Wand. It's a wand that actually it turns into like a little mini shield that mages can use.
I have a weapon. You have a long spear. You have a spear that comes in two parts that you can put together, so it becomes a long spear with reach, or you can use it as a regular spear with the second part that you can put on your back. so that's a regular weapon that you can have a long spear that so you can use an action to put it together, and then you get a 10-foot reach spear, so to speak. So you can use it either as a long spear or as a regular spear. I think that's very handy, especially for rangers and other critters, and that want to be able to sometimes, so you can fight from second echelons or second row, and have 10-foot reach, which can be really handy at times.
Yeah. Jeff, that's in Art Arcana. Just look under wand. Or miscellaneous buckler wands. It's in Art Arcana. So what other questions do you have or comments? Look, I went over a lot of stuff and just giving you ideas that I think I've kind of solved the power creep for my game personally by giving weapons out to hardcore specialized fighters and Saxons and all the other ones that get multiple attacks per round and can do all this damage by giving items, magic weapons with some special abilities on it that are named. Always pronounce Elric's in this game the same way. But yeah, Melnabone, Melbene. I'm a terrible. I hack up everything, Garner. I'm sorry. I am a hack when it comes to all the. We used to say paladin instead of paladin. All sorts of things when we were kids because we didn't know any better. You know, we still say a lot of people argue about how we say, Ouija. It's actually Ouija according to Leonard Lekofka.
Yeah, but I like Ouija much better than Ouija. Yeah.
Yes, there's a dungeon. Good to see you.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you so very much for the raid. Appreciate it. So, just look at it this way. Take your game, figure out what works for you, give out or give goals of finding. I love doing this. I've done this for 2-3 years now in the Low Road and the Hateful Wars. They are always searching for these lost weapons. And the weapons aren't that, they're +2. Did you see not a single one of those weapons on the All-Star characters, I call them, are +3 weapons. They're all +2 or +1. They're not super powerful, but they got little unique items to them, little unique quirks. And I think that solves the problem of wanting to have the Rod of 7 parts or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't want to go there in my game. That's just like I don't want to go there fighting Ayus directly. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there that Egwolf and Ayus fight the Knights of Ulick, because what happens afterwards?
Yeah, that's why you have to invent a lot of in-between go-betweens, so to speak. You have to invent tons of go-betweens. Yeah.
Moose,
I haven't.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. But there always are agents of there's agents of I use. There's the Black Death squads are roaming about. I use
Exactly. You have
them.
to. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you have to invent them, and you have to sell them in long before they're used, so to speak, because and you have to. That's why I love the heraldry and stuff. You can kind of give them a cool heraldry and talk
Yep.
about them, give them uh, meaning that they're, and it's like advertising, and really bad guys, they want to advertise that they're bad, so to speak, in that sense that it gives them power. So, and magic weapons too. Make
Yeah.
sure they're well equipped for the job.
I
Otherwise, they
normally
wouldn't have the job. Yeah.
I normally put heraldry on shields and armor that they find.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially, there'll be a plus one shield of I don't know a house a certain house name of Celine, and it'll have special abilities that the house had. I actually gave out a Winchester Keolandis shield, hero shield. Someone has it. I forget who got it. Bill, if you remember that one. But yeah, I will do that a lot where you find items that have been left behind or someone got killed or someone had to drop and run. Well, the best items is one that can't be identified exactly. Yeah, BB. But here's the problem. Once again, if I'm running one group with 5 characters and I'm running the same group over and over and over, that works. But when I have 27, 28 adventure groups, it gets tough to keep track of. It's just tough.
Mm-hmm.
Keolandish. The language is Keolandish, so isn't Keolandish
Yeah.
Keolanders? Yeah.
Keolandish.
Back laser.
Keoish or Keolandish.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
the
sure
same. I
which.
guess it's both. They're both
Yeah.
good. They're both good. So, Tiki's gonna. So, any other questions you may have? It's 9 o'clock, and we'll go to shout outs here, and we'll go to the giveaway shortly. But I hope you enjoyed this discussion on magic weapons. Just I wanted to share some stuff in my campaign. Anna shared some stuff in her campaign, and we discussed, ideas for you all to enhance your game by enhancing your weapons. Simple as that. Simple as that. And it can be done as part of the course of gameplay. So, awesome. All right, Anna, what's going on with you?
It's the usual. My commission, Shield Lands, Hawktails. Well, planning for conventions, virtual GREYHAWK Con and Game Hall to get that. So making pre-gens, making monsters, making dungeon maps and maps. I did one on Friday, one of the keeps, and I've done a couple of others, and that I don't want to show yet, so to speak, but they will come. So I want to have like something cool to show. And the Shield Land map is progressing nicely, and also to make Hawktails battle ready, so to speak. That's we're going to do next week. We're going to do a first kind of full game session where I run it. We've done battle tests and little like skirmishes before, but that will be the first time we test it. And magic weapons is one of the things. I haven't fully decked out all the stuff. I have a long list of what weapons should do, because one of the things I want to put these parameters, so you know, as a DM, if you want to run using Hawktails, what are the parameters you can play with? And so to keep it and give an idea. And one of the things that we haven't talked about that magic weapons can do in Hawktails, they can give you exertion points that are a beta currency that you can do cool things with. Like, for instance, I have the Holy Avenger gives you exertion points that you can use for smite attacks and stuff like that. So it doesn't make the smite attacks do more damage, but it makes a non-paladin able to cast smite attacks, and it makes a paladin able to cast more of them per day, so to speak. So these are one of the parameters that is not in standard D&D that I want to have in there. And then we have one of my issues is Vorpal, and one of the list of things that I haven't figured out yet is how I want Vorpal and sharp weapons to work, so they don't upset the rules too much. And one of the other things is that the magic weapons, they upscale the damage dice, just like they are basically like specializing in a weapon. So if you're a master of weapons, you have 4 times bigger dice size than the original one. Or +2 instead of, if you use a great sword, you get +2 per damage die increase. But on the other hand, a masterwork is one, you can have a crude weapon use one smaller die size, and normal weapons use the normal die size, and a masterwork use one bigger, so to speak. But magic weapons also makes it easier to hit. A masterwork only gives you, because it's sharper, so a better quality, so it gives you one die size bigger. But those things don't scale, so to speak, or they don't add. So you have a masterwork, and then you have a +1 weapon. They are the same in damage, but that's standard D&D rules. So, but there's some. I want to be able to do some other tweaks and stuff to the rules. But it's fun to play with. But I want magic weapons to be a part cheating for low level players or characters, so they can gain stuff that only high level, and then you can have some extra stuff on top of the pudding, so to speak, like dragon slaying and whatnot. So yeah, and be aware of the how you want to use them in your game, so you don't break your campaign, so to speak. So,
Yeah, well,
and this is where you need to be aware of what your problems, where your weak spots are in your rule system.
playtest,
Yeah.
playtest.
Yeah. Yeah, because magic weapons, they tend to break the rules, or they are pushing on the boundaries of your rule system, whatever rules you're using. And that's where you need to figure out how you want to limit it, so to speak. And still, the players should feel that they got something cool, a cool new toy. And it's a hard balance to go.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. We intelligence and ego weapons. We did.
Yeah, we
touched
did a
on
little
them.
bit about that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
We had yep.
Definitely. Okay, so our this week it's Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Wednesday night, it was finalized while we're here. It'll be the Feywild of GREYHAWK, and it'll be Anna, myself, and Les. Maybe another guest if someone else is a Fey expert, but I am going to be just listening because it's not my realm. So, but Les is really into it, so I know Anna
Yeah,
is
me
too.
too.
So
I like
I'll
the
be
Fae. It's an interesting
moderating it.
dimension. Yep.
Yeah, but that's okay, and that'll be Wednesday normal time at 7. But so here's if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, Bill the Master Crafter, he's out for like 4 to 6 weeks because his son's team hockey team he's coaching. All the practices now are on Thursday night for like sometime through to September. The good news is Curtis and everyone else, Bill the Master Crafter bought his GaryCon ticket for next year. So Bill is going and Jeremy's going, and I know that they're negotiating with Luke on sponsor Gamescape 3D sponsoring the show. So,
awesome.
Yeah, that's being worked on as well. So with that, I'm like, I was going to start Carlos's. I'm like, now what do I do? So I'm gonna go back and run something I haven't run. I don't know, 35 years at least. I don't even think it's logged on my. I think it's pre-Order of Ulick. But we're running it. We're gonna it's a revisit. Secret of the Slaver Stockade A2 starts Thursday with the Bloody Brethren / First Ulick Pathfinders group. All right, so we're going to be running some old school A2. It's in the Pomarge. The unit's going to go and infiltrate it and try and take it out. As it's and it's scaled up a little bit because those characters are 7th and 8th, and it's for levels 4 to 7. I'm scaling it up just a bit. That will be who knows how many weeks. I don't know. Yeah. Hey, well, Bill, it's either this or Carlos's. You know why you're not going to be on this one, Bill? I'm going to say this, and he's going to laugh, and all of you are not going to know what I'm talking about. You ready? Wandering fucking suction mud. There you go, Bill. That's an inside joke going back to the 90s, and that's yes. So I'm just going to run A2.
Is that the outdoor version of the gelatinous cube?
Well, there's yes.
Just kidding.
So Bill will remember what happened there. So that is Secret of Slaver Stockade. We're going to run that multiple weeks. Yes, we're going to we're only just run A2 separately. Made a boggle. Boggles are in there too. I know boggles and stuff. I'm going to make some changes to it. Yep. Yeah, just A2. Just A2. It's going to tie into some other stuff. It's going to be A2 in my campaign present day. Okay, but it's going to be A2. All right. That's Thursday. Saturday at 1. Not in the morning, not at 2 this week. Let me shout this out if I can find it. Saturday at 1 o'clock is the next installation of the new group, which has no name yet. And if they don't have a name by the end of this adventure, I'm going to name them. Adventure number 1063, Targets, is the name of the adventure. Coco Bunny, Sir Timothy, Case, Bowboy, Desinavina do music, and Korg playing their characters. I kind of, once again, allowed a little bit. The Bard, Case's character is level 4 fighter, 5 thief, 1 Bard. And she, remember, I have 3 versions. She's going to be an illusionist version of a Bard, the Mesmer type. So I'm not going to tell you what her twin brother is going to do. That's secret. But we got this group. It's a fun group, and that'll be at 1 o'clock. 1 to 5 on Saturday will be the special group this week coming up. It'll be a fun time. And no, the new Junior will not show up. I know that Sir Timothy was Tim's character. When Junior got away, he actually blew a gasket in his head, which is perfect because he wanted to kill the. You know how you want to kill the bad guy so bad, but you can't. It's the first mission. So the new head of the mongrels of the Putrid Tongue in Altamira got away for down the road. So and there'll be a Gabbin next week as well. So that'll be it. Friendly Fire is more fitting. Yeah, Friendly Fire is a good name. Hey, Clever, you're just in time for the giveaway. Exclamation point drawing for, and then who are we gonna raid into tonight? Take a look. Huh. Let me take a look. I may do. Give me 1 second here. Hope you all have a good week, by the way. I'm going to have a rough work week, but I know Phoenix is on. I know Phoenix is on, but...
Yeah, I'll do a stream on Friday again, so it's fun. Now it works again, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Classic Sam anymore. I had to update it. I'm gonna go into Dead Aussie. I haven't done him in a long, long time. We'll go to Dead Aussie Gamer. He's a good guy. Well, Dead Aussie's on there, Chaotic. Who else you have in mind? So, oh man, it's a lot of rain. So, come on down to the southern hemisphere. All right, so sound good? All right, I'm shutting that off because it was getting hot. So. Oh, yeah, I'll do him. Yeah, why not? He's a good guy, though, and he's a good DM. So we'll raid into him because there's no one in the streaming community I see that's doing D&D now. So we'll hit him up.
Awesome, Dragahir. That's awesome. That would look so good. Yeah,
fantastic. So thank you all for hanging in there. Thank you for all the people watching. It'll be a fun week again. So we'll see you Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday next week. And thank you all for the support. Thank you, Gary Kahn, for an Old World for rating in. It wasn't Old World, was it? I apologize. Oh, shit. 1 second. I hate when I say the wrong name. Give me 1 sec. Oh, let's say thanks. Oh, my God. Now the thing recent events just blipped off. Master of Dungeons. Thank you, Master of Dungeons. Thank you, Skageth, too, for rating in. All right. See you all Wednesday. Enjoy.
Bye, everyone.
Jay's going to the wrong button. I did. I had the wrong button. Yay! We'll go here. That's so funny. Woohoo! All right.
Got an extra ending. Yeah.
Yes, got a little extra bonus there. Yeah. Raid. We're almost going in with 100. That'll be awesome. Alrighty. And that was a great one. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we touched a lot of points.
Yeah, we went around. 97, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Wednesday night.
That's good numbers.
Yeah. Absolutely.